how does it sound?
Oh, I couldn't really hear it.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it then. I realized that, oh, it might be nice to have some music right now. So, oh, we do. Oh, alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna warm up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Hey, Adam. Hello. I like the wall behind you. That looks good. Can't see it. We can't really see the words from here. But just be me. That looks good.
Exciting to see. I wonder how many people will obviously enforce cameras on for those who would like to have so we can see you. Appreciate all of you being here. We have a wonderful program lined up for you. We realized that this wasn't going to be a great weekend to go out in the community. Adam started his tour after his launch, and we realized that it wasn't going to be a great weekend, but we thought, hey, why don't we go to you through virtual? Why don't we create a virtual town hall? We had a lot of different ideas about it. Like there was like this explosion of, well, we could do a telethon, we could do this, we could do that, but we decided we were going to reach out to folks that were willing to share what they're doing in the district, in the Congressional District 9. We reached out to all the counties and we came up with this amazing, wonderful program. So we are coming to you and we are excited to be here. We will have a very, very kind, thoughtful discourse amongst us. We're going from 12 to 3. We are going to keep time as much as possible. I know that sometimes doesn't always work the way we like to, but we're going to make sure that we keep on time. So there will be maybe space in between. During that space, Adam will be answering some questions, and feel free to keep those, to write those questions into the chat. So Helena will be looking at those and making sure that we try to get to all those questions that you have. So we want to welcome all of you to the Snowden Tour with Adam Murphy, and I will hand it over to you now, Adam. Welcome.
Thank you, Alexa. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. First of all, thank you all for joining. Like Alexa said, this was kind of a spur of the moment idea. We knew with the snowstorm that we'd have an opportunity to kind of reach out to everybody and talk with you all. We have kind of first time we're doing a live stream while we're doing it too. So there's some technical difficulties that we are not difficulties, but learning how to do this properly to make sure that we can kind of put our best foot forward on all the platforms, as well as give people in our district the opportunity to ask questions, have their voice their concerns, and as well as kind of learn about things that are kind of going on around right now. Quick introductions. So I'm Adam Murphy, Democratic candidate for Virginia's 9th District. Thank you all for coming here. I'm looking to knock Morgan Griffith right out of the house. We're not here to move the line 5%. We're here to move it. We're here to win, right? And of course, we've been building a wonderful community. We have an amazing staff and volunteers who've helped make this possible, who have reached out. We've had connections almost all throughout our districts. And so all the people on this call, you're kind of a testament to the fact that we've been able to reach so many people. And I can't tell you how happy I am that you've all decided to join and spend your Sunday here with us before the football games, if you're a big football fan, or if you just in general or have some opportunity of time before other things in your day. I'm glad that for the most part, not too many people lost power. It's looking like in the worst spots of our district that kind of did lose power is looking like Washington County and Bristol seem to be kind of some of the most affected by this. But out here in Roanoke County, We only got like 3 inches of snow, and I think right now it's still like kind of sleeting. So it's not really anything too bad. I wanted to take an opportunity to kind of speak to you about our campaign, about what we're running on, why we're doing this, and how we think we can possibly win this. So right now, as you all know, things in America are crazy. We just saw what happened up in Minneapolis again. ICE has murdered another U.S. citizen. Things are not normal right now. This is not the standard America that we grew up in, and I think it's concerning a lot of people. But we need to remember that even though this is a solemn, kind of day because of that, that change can still happen. That no matter how bad things might seem or how they've gotten, the American people have pushed through in so many times of adversity to make change for the better. I mean, the idea of the United States is to form a more perfect union. We started out one way, and we knew from the start that it was never going to be perfectly locked in stone, that as time evolves, we would be able to continue to improve it. And well, unfortunately, that wheel turns to us now here today, and we are here to continue to fight to make sure that the United States becomes more perfect as a union. Now, right now, things might seem scary. Things might not seem what we can do. The reality is that probably for at least another year, things are still going to be a little bit worse. We need to be able to get ready and organize in your community. So I would encourage everybody here, if you get the opportunity to connect with Indivisible or your local groups, to get organized. That way you can start showing your voice, because the only way that this stops is if we make it stop. We cannot play appeasement with these people. We have to actually get united one way, and we have to understand that it's not, the left versus right in this country that's causing the problem. It's that the very rich and powerful spend a lot of money on media and social media to keep us divided and to perform narratives that keep us unable to look at this problem properly. And right now, I think as we see things, people are really waking up to that fact. I mean, I have talked to a whole bunch of people all across the district, conservative, progressive, liberal, Republican, whatever. And these same problems unite us far more than they divide us when we actually get the opportunity to talk and we don't allow ourselves to have these walls built up in front of us. And I know things seem crazy, but really I need people to understand that the only way this fixes is because we do try to fix it. We cannot turn away from this. We have to fight this and fight it and then win, because we will become united again as American people. So I wanted to mention that too, that at the very end of this program, if you'd be willing to join us, I think we're going to be trying to do maybe a candle every night type thing for the situation that the United States is going through. Maybe you saw that last night about how some other groups organized having a candle just posted out. I think it's important to remember that we're in this together and that we're not alone. And so that candle, if we can continue that progress, I think we can do some interesting things with that, as well as, again, organize with your local groups outside of, public chats like this. But let's get a little bit more happy than just acknowledging the reality of our situation that we were in today. The 9th District has been Democratic for 30 years prior to Morgan Griffith, right? From 1980, I think 1 or 82 to 2010. And that means that the reality of why we're not winning now isn't because they hate Democrats, although some people will say that, sure. But the reality is that there's a group of people that used to feel a certain way, that they used to feel represented, whether it was through their union, whether it was through the local community, whether that was through their job, whether that was through their activism. And I think what we're finding out is that there's a national branding that has kind of divided us away from understanding what a Democrat can be. And I think a big part of what this campaign is to transform what a Democrat can be. And it's not anything radical. We're not changing it to be ridiculous. We're just saying, hey, remember when we were the Democrats with the New Deal, where all we cared about was the working class people and their futures first before everything else, and that we would take on massive corporate interests and robber barons who attack our system all the time and make sure that the American people get the future that they deserve. That's all that we're saying here in this campaign, that we're trying to kind of go back to a grassroots from the ground up, not a top-down perspective, and show people that things can be different. And not just different, that we're going to radically shift the system into a better place than it ever has been before. We're going to hold the rich and powerful to account, and we're going to make sure things like the abuses we see with ICE can never happen ever again. And so what does that change look like? Well, you might see it on my wall behind me, but it's changes like Medicare for all, where which we'll talk about later. We'll have a graphic come up on this, but it not only does it provide better healthcare outcomes for our people, it includes everybody under healthcare insurance. It gives you vision, dental, it beefs up Medicare so it actually covers everything at cost, so that the greatest expense you have to pay in the course of a year if you're on a fixed income is only $200 a year for prescription drugs. That is it. That is what Medicare for All can provide. It's a massive improvement, and it saves our country $5 trillion over 10 years. It's really a no-brainer to get into. From there, we also need to give people a better standard of living. I want to produce a living wage that allows the American people to start at a $20 an hour wage per where they work. But I also recognize to be able to get to that, we can't just ignore the realities of small businesses that maybe only have a couple employees, or they only make so much revenue. They might not be able to afford a $20 minimum wage. So what we're going to do for that is make sure that we make it the patriotic duty of American companies like Walmart to pay a very small amount in tax to guarantee a living wage to all of our American people. So that way everybody gets to live the life that they deserve and actually gets paid well enough to be able to own a home, own a house, to have a family, etc. A big part of this campaign is taking on that idea of the New Deal, of that, if you worked for a living, they would pay you well enough to be able to have that home, to be able to live the life you want, to be able to have a family, if that was what you chose. And that deal hasn't been upheld in 50 years. I would say maybe even longer. It has been shattered in so many different ways. And I will reveal a little bit of a story about my family, so that way you can get a little bit of an understanding of why I really feel this way, why I feel so strongly. So my grandfather, actually, let me back up. I'm a 5th generation Irish immigrant. So that means we came to the United States, 5 generations ago. My great-great-grandfather, they came across to New York. They, went all the way through Pennsylvania, Indiana, Ohio, and eventually got to Chicago, making money as they went. And they didn't want to live in Chicago, so they went south, and they got to a town called Peoria, Illinois. In Peoria, they established a Murphy farm where they raised Shetland cattle and Shetland sheep. And it was a centennial farm. And that farm was in my family from my great-great-father, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my dad. And unfortunately, in the 1970s, my grandfather ended up getting hospitalized. And back then, hospitalizations, insurance, there were no minimums. So all his insurance would pay for was $60 a day in the hospital. That's what he agreed to. And while he was doing that, he got hospitalized for a gastric bypass for 7 days. So his insurance wrote him a check for $420, and then the hospital said, "Hey, here's a $500,000 bill." Now, my grandfather, he's a farmer. He was already in debt, having to get through the season, to pay off equipment, to proceed, etc. And he was already working the night shift. He was already working at a factory, and he was working as a part-time bus driver while working on the farm. And that $500,000 bill, in 1970s money, was beyond devastating. And it really kind of broke my grandfather. And he decided that the best course of action was to actually sell the Murphy family farm. And because of that decision, because of that medical debt, we lost that entire farm, all because insurance wasn't operating under a way that made any amount of sense in the United States. For me, that was kind of a really huge wake-up call when I learned that story, when I learned that history, that this system, it's been broken for a very long time. We didn't just pop into the reality today where it could have been better easily. There's a lot of things that failed us to get us to this moment in time that broke that American dream. But that's exactly what I'm fighting to fix, to be able to restore that American dream, to bring manufacturing back here to Southwest Virginia, to bring jobs, economic opportunity, to increase our education, to allow more opportunity that goes beyond just STEM and arts, that is vocational, trades, plumbing, electrical, agricultural, and make sure that we have in Southwest Virginia a future that we deserve. And so that's really why I'm running. I didn't expect to run for office when I started this journey, but things have gotten so bad so quickly that I just felt like the bar was down in the ground and that I just needed to do something. So I just kind of wanted to give everybody a super quick introduction. If you have questions about my family background or kind of my credentials and things, I'll be happy to answer them. I know we're trying to kind of keep on somewhat of a time schedule here, but just so I'll do super quick points. I'm a software developer. I've been in the industry for like 9 years. I've done a whole bunch of technological experiments with manufacturing, insurance, reinsurance and investments, and consumer websites. So I've done a gambit of experience. And a few things about me that I feel like are important that maybe might not make a huge lot of sense in what I'm saying is with AI and data centers, we need to limit and label them. There's a huge problem, I think, coming at us that we're not really talking about because things are so bad right now. But if AI and big tech continues to absorb so much of our economy, what we're going to find is by like 2035, we're probably going to have about 25% unemployment, which is Great Depression numbers. And unlike in the past, where technical automations improve things and there were still people working them, just maybe less at those specific jobs, with this AI automation, it will be gone. They will not come back. Those companies are not going to offer it back easily. And we will be in a situation where it'll be much, much, much harder to find a job, even more so than it already is right now. All right, that was a really quick introduction and kind of what we're doing. We're building a community here. Our team is really great. We have people from all over the district. All of my advisors are from the district. I don't have any outside people from like Washington or like Missouri or anywhere giving me advice. It is all people who've lived in Southwest Virginia, who understand Southwest Virginia, and are helping us be able to support and represent Southwest Virginia. Thank you.
So Adam, I just want to point out technical, the live stream apparently is focused was focused on me, which, I'm not sure that, is there something on your end? I did switch it on Zoom. So if there's anything that you can do,
it's just
sort of
whatever I'm
have
looking
the
at in
speaker.
Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so we can kind of get that, figured out. So, all right. Well, it is 12:15, almost 12:15, and I want to bring up to the stage my colleagues, my partners in crime. Let's see, all the folks that are here. I see Laura, I see Joy, I see Susan. So we're gonna have a little chit chat with each other. So I wanted to, just a real brief story. I'm working as you guys can all unmute too, because we're gonna talk a little bit with one another. So we like doing that with each other, don't we?
Yes.
Joy, Laura, and
Yes.
Susan. Um, so one of the things that I was doing before I decided to jump in with Adam and do kind of be his campaign manager was I was one of the coordinators for Indivisible, and I've been doing that. I've been in that role since 2017, like the first time the Orange Monster got in. So I've been really working on these issues with Indivisible for since that time frame. And one of the things that I found when we had hundreds of people that joined in back in 2017, it really narrowed down to a smaller group. And so, but we decided to kind of stick with it. So the second time that things came around, we were ready to get up and go. So I wanted to talk just about how important it has been to continue that movement with my buddies that I've worked with. And I thought we could have a brief conversation about the activism that we've been involved in. And certainly there's lots of different types. So I just want to welcome all of you. Did I miss anybody? I see Susan, Joy, and Laura. So I think, thank you guys. So how are you? How are you guys doing after this crazy thing that we're going through? And we do only have 15 minutes, so it might be a little challenging. We'll make it work. So how are you guys doing? I want to check in with you first with everything that's happened this week. It's been a tough week.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Susan, you start. Go ahead.
Yesterday was just a horrible day. And I really had to pick myself up this morning and say, I've got my group from Indivisible that really needs me to be a participant and a leader, and hopefully keep moving forward. The news isn't good. I mean, it's just been really, really tough. But I think having a community that I belong to, that I enjoy being with them, we're on the same page as far as what needs to happen. We got a lot of interest in joining our group yesterday, emails from people who wanted to find out how to get involved, which is great. So I spent the morning answering those, and that was really good for my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead, Laura.
I got incredibly angry yesterday. Lucky enough though, my anger is very productive. And I'm looking at groups that are already unpopular in the United States right now. ICE is unpopular. So how does that connect with Virginia? Virginia has 32 contracts with ICE. Abigail Spangberger signed that executive order when she first entered office, to not have to comply with ICE, the state police, and the Virginia Department of Corrections. However, I believe that she fell short in not terminating those contracts immediately. So, what can we, the people, do? There's organizations out there that have a list of where these contracts are. Start contacting the people on these contracts and demand. Blacks, yeah. So that, and like to Adam's point, change is not going to come from the top. It's up to us. They, and look to the good news too. They are failing on so many accounts. The NRA just came out with a statement. They fancy themselves as a civil rights organization. Okay. They just came out with a statement against what happened, against the Trump administration. Like civil rights is not on their side. So to me, it's about, like what Susan said, keeping that momentum up.
Yep.
And there is fatigue in showing up, but when you see people joining this movement, it is inspiring. We have people that have been protesting since the beginning of the year, in Christiansburg. But these last few protests, and I think Alexa, Susan, Joy, you might be able to, and Beth and Fred, you might be able to agree with me that these last few have felt a little different because we've seen a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
And to me, it's going to get worse. So let's
Yeah.
just prepare ourselves to that fact and be prepared for it. Because, if you feel prepared, and like Joy said, there is joy in resistance. In
I have
name,
that bumper sticker on my car.
in name and in concept. So it's, the more we can prepare ourselves, the more we can connect to each other, to coalitions, communities, groups that are already, fighting against this and resisting against this. I think that's what is bringing me hope. That is the light in the darkness.
Yep. So I want to just do a quick plug, and then Joy, I want to hear from you. So Laura, because of her activism and care and concern about what's happening, actually is planning to run for state senate in District 5. So, so yay for you.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah.
an extension of my activism. If
Right,
you look
right.
at the title underneath that, it says public service.
Yep.
Right.
It is about listening. It is a very, very different, I think. So
Right. Well, thank you
and
for
much
stepping
to
up.
much to what Adam is already running on as well.
Yeah, very much. So we're very, very thankful for you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Now, Joy. So I want to, first of all, Joy managed to compile, and I think that if you're willing, Joy, put that video that you compiled for TikTok in the chat so people can see it. I was so moved by that when I finally got a chance to look at it. And I think that these are the kinds of actions that when we get together, not only do we feel support and we feel kind of empowered, we create amazing things together, right? So, and part of the inspiration for even doing something like this is bringing community together to create amazing things together. So anyway, with that introduction, Joy, and just want to kind of hand over the mic to you.
So I've known Alexa since the first rodeo, I guess.
Yeah,
we became friends
have.
pretty instantly back then. And we've been in contact off and on. And I have had to, for those who don't know, I am an elected official now. So I took the reins and ran last year for the same reason. So I've had to take a little bit of a back seat on being in the forefront. And I can't really stress any more than what Susan and Laura said. Even though I'm not physically able this recently to be out there, there's so many behind the scenes things that I've done. So even if you don't feel like you want to stand up and, hold a sign every Saturday, there are so many other things that you can do to get involved in Indivisible. It could be so simple as calling to make sure we can go to people's parking lots. And you think that sounds silly, but Susan has called many businesses asking, can we use your parking lot? So I want to stress that it doesn't have to be that difficult. Like she said, I made that video. I do run the well, I think Laura's now kind of tag teaming because I have been busy, but I have been posting pretty much steadily on our TikTok, our Instagram. Most of that goes on Facebook and Threads as well. And that's just the behind the scene things that I enjoy. So find what you enjoy and use it.
Sadie, stop.
So with that being said, that's my little PSA about joining it because it does make a difference. And I will say I cried so many times yesterday.
Yeah.
Bawled my eyes out. Could not handle it. Could not do it. But who texted me at 11 p.m. last night asking, you come and join tomorrow? Alexa. So those little things do matter. So I would highly suggest if you're feeling that, just join us. And it doesn't have to, there's so many different capacities we could use you in. We even have groups that just read books and watch movies and discuss it. Activism comes in many different forms.
And we need all of it.
Right. I want Laura, since you that's here, mostly attend all of the NRV and visibility brigade groups. So if you could speak to that a little bit and also the power in that, if you don't mind touching on that, the NRV. I don't see Joan on here. So if you want to speak to that a little bit about just kind of what that's been like and how important that's been.
Yeah, Joan, that was something that she kind of started in the NRV area. The NRV Visibility Brigade is part of a nationwide movement, which is the Visibility Brigade. So that connects us to California, Maine, Florida, Texas, even all these places that have visibility brigades. The idea and concept of standing on a bridge to protest is not new. It goes, back in our history with the civil rights movement. The idea being that every single honk or wave or just someone seeing you on a bridge existing in a way that is not normal to just see people standing out on a bridge in the cold that say, end ICE occupation or stand solidarity with Minneapolis. We seek to keep messages on the positive and what we stand for rather than the negative. And also circling back to if somebody honks at you or waves at you, that's an engagement. That is engaging with somebody that might not be reached in other ways. I think sometimes in resistance and just in life in general, it's very easy to kind of confine yourself to a bubble and get stuck in that bubble. I myself was guilty of that, the Blacksburg bubble. It wasn't until resistance efforts that I got out into Christiansburg more and learned more about what was happening with my local representatives and what was going on. So to me, the Visibility Brigade is getting out of our bubble because it connects us to a nationwide movement. And it's just another form of resistance.
Well, you jumped in a big way, Laura, because you were our MC for when we did the town hall for Morgan Griffith, right? You were the MC for that.
The
And
empty chair
the
town
empty
hall.
chair
Yes.
town hall. That's right. So,
Right.
And we had over 200 people that showed up for that. And Joy was there live streaming it on TikTok. And
Yep,
so
Joy and Molly were there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's definitely. So we have Ashley Neal in the audience, who's also a partner in crime with this group as well. So Ashley, did you want to share some thoughts? Because you are also working on Adam's campaign now. So would you like a few words to share?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm Ashley Neal, and I am part of Bland County. Grew up there my entire life, and now I'm living in Blacksburg, and I am really joining this movement and this campaign because, I have just seen this for so long, generations and generations of, Southwest Virginia being taken advantage of, and I'm sick of it. So, you know, I kind of had those questions of what can I do to really make an impact? And I got involved with Indivisible. And so that's where I started going out more and interacting with the community. And I just think that that's really so important because there's such a divide. And the more that we can connect and have a sense of community, community is a form of resistance. So I really think that that's so, so important. And you know, I've just been full in with doing something and taking some sort of action right now because that is what is needed. We're in unprecedented times, and so we're going to have to step it up. And so that's why I'm here, and I'm so glad to have met everybody and be part of this community. And I just really think, you know, if you're feeling like you want to do more, like look to get involved in something like this. It's really powerful and makes me feel not so alone, and it's really beautiful. So I would
Mhm.
just encourage that.
Mhm. Yeah, and Ashley is an amazing photographer. Her and her husband do amazing work, and we're so lucky to have you on that, you know, working on that, and you're tireless. I don't know when you sleep, when all of the kind of social media, there's a lot of work to be done on social media.
Yeah.
And so you do an amazing job, Ashley. So, well, we have
you.
I want to thank all my buddies with Indivisible and NRV Visibility Brigade for coming on. You guys everyone give them a big round of applause
Thank you for joining.
for sharing and being here. And so Adam, we have the next act coming up, which looks like Matt. Is Matt here?
I just now joined.
Perfect.
Woohoo! All right. Perfect timing, Matt. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before you get started? And I have you at One Piece and Virginia Organizing, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about that first, because I think you have a song for us, don't you?
Yeah. Virginia Organizing is a statewide organization. It's as the title would allude to. We organize rallies, and we're trying to get a warming center for homeless people, and we've tried for a while. And with Bill, we're helping people restore their rights after they are finished with their probation or jail time, and restore their voting rights, and some other projects. So I'm going to do a Bob Dylan song,
Awesome.
one of his protest
Please,
songs.
everyone, mute. If you haven't muted already, please do.
Yeah, it'll echo. Oh, excuse me, cat. Cat says, meow. Here, Candy. 1 second. Okay. How's it sound? You hear me and the guitar both?
Yep,
Yep.
yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Don't gather around people.
Hang on, Matt. Is there any way you could have the mic a smidge closer? I think it's assuming that you're too far away, so it's trying to cancel it. Because when you're just playing the guitar, I can't hear it.
Okay. So get closer? Is that what you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, I think so. If you just get a little closer, I think it'll pick it up.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
All right. Come gather around people where love can roam. And accept it that soon. Be drenched to the bone. Your time to do is worth saving. You don't stop swimming, you sink like a stone. For the time they all take. Songwriters and critics who prophesy with your pen. Again, but don't speak too soon. We'll still spin. There's no telling what's saying. All the times they all take. Young senators, easy to call. Don't lock up your windows, don't lock up your homes. Boy, he gets hurt. Lost dogs. The battle outside raging. So shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they take. Your mothers and fathers throughout the land. Criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your whole road is rapidly. So get up, get time change. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow later be fast is the present now. Will later be fast. The old believe they for the first time be back for the time they are. Hope that came through all right.
Am I the only one that couldn't hear that? I couldn't hear it.
It was coming in and out a little
I
bit for
couldn't
me.
hear it.
Yeah.
It was kind of in and
It
out.
sounded really
so-
good though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And like when I did
So-
hear it, I was like, ooh.
So, is there anything that you know of that would change it on my end, Adam, in terms of the sound? I mean, is it without a mic? I think that's going to be. I don't.
I don't
so
have
is
like a
there-
way to boost someone's audio in here. The only thing you could do is just bring the Hannah is probably correct that it's the mic is trying to like it thinks it's like background noise because it's just far enough away from the audio. Because like when you were speaking earlier, Matt, it was fine. Like I could hear you totally fine. So you'd either have to bring it closer, like put it on a chair, like maybe right next to you, or like next to your hand on the guitar, perhaps.
I could switch to a laptop.
Okay, that might work a little better if you want to try that.
Come back to me later.
Okay. All right. So Adam, what are your any thoughts after listening to the group that I brought on that you kind of thoughts that you had when you listened to some of the things they shared that you wanted to share right now?
I think the key thing to me that kind of stood out is community is resistance is really kind of going to be our best way to be able to make this work. America in its founding spirit of 250 years ago was a whole bunch of random people who decided to come together to fight the world's greatest superpower in that time in history. And no one, literally no one, thought they would be able to win that fight. Yet they still chose to fight. And yes, they had some help from some friends like the French, right? But ultimately, by choosing to band together, they were able to win and establish something that had never been seen in the history of any part of human history at that time. And I feel like we're going through a similar type of moment now. that if we can get people to focus up and not see this as a left versus right issue, but rather see it as this top versus bottom issue, and get everybody to be united in one focal force, because there's really only going to be one way out of this, and it is us uniting. We can get through this chaos, and yes, there'll still be some chaos, just like what Laura said. We're not out of this. But if we focus up and we become united again in that same determination, where we might not agree on every little thing, but we agree on the goal to make our country the best country in the history of the world again, we can get through this. And on this other side of the chaos is that best future that has ever been for any American at any time and any point in history, for all of us. Not just some of us, not just a group of us, but truly the more perfect union that we have been striving for an incredibly long period of time. And I think when I think of that and I get involved, as I started doing it, just like what people have been saying, being in these communities, feeling people, understanding that you're not alone in these thoughts, it really does bring you energy. And to me, thinking about that future, so many people have given that ultimate sacrifice, believing that they were fighting for a better tomorrow. And I know a lot of them, if they were around today, would not see it, that we've been building that future. So to me, it's fallen to us. It's to the next generation. This is what we have to do, that we have to have this fight. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be perfect. But when we do have this fight, we will get through that future. And that to me is worth fighting for, which is what keeps me going. Like, I'm an inherently positive person. The stuff that happened yesterday just pissed me off. Like, it made me just like, it didn't just make me sad. It made me angry. It made me want to continually to do more. And that's the huge thing about this, is that we can always do more. And it will be hard, but more and more people are going to see these things happen and go like, this isn't okay. Like, literally yesterday or 2 days ago, I talked with a fellow who literally told me, I consider myself a traditional conservative. I have a concealed carry permit. And this is before the ICE stuff, right? Literally his exact scenario just played out. He said, I'm amazed that you can go to these protests. I'm afraid to, because I'm afraid of what they might do. And then something happened that was exactly that scenario that he was afraid of. Still, though, it gave him hope to hear that we're willing to stand up. And it's not just me, right? It's all of Southwest Virginia. It's all of America choosing to stand up against this. And that's ultimately what we're going to have to do to be able to fix it. There's only one way out of this, and it's making them stop this, holding the rich and powerful to account, and then making the system set up in such a way that this can just never happen again. And I think that's worth fighting for, right? Like, we have to fight for that future, because the alternative is we hit a Blade Runner future where we've burnt out our world, or where corporations own everything, or worse, we live under fascism in America going forward. Like, these are unacceptable. These are just unacceptable realities. And so we have to fight it. There's only one option. We have to fight it.
So Adam, Daniel shared that possibly, Matt, if you go to the microphone and you click that arrow, there is a microphone
to account, and then making the system
mode.
set up in such a way that this can just never happen. Nancy,
Okay.
can you mute yourself really quick? And I think that's worth fighting for, right? Like, we have to fight for that future.
Okay,
The
wait.
alternative is we hit. I can mute her. I muted her.
Okay, good. Okay. So Daniel had mentioned, Matt, let's see, we have 4 more minutes left, Matt, if you want to try it again. If you go to the microphone and the microphone mode, if you go to original sound for musicians, it might not block things as much. So do you see where that is, Matt?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hello? Okay. I'm feeding back through some. Okay, everybody mute.
Yes. You might have to mute your as well for a second, like your speakers.
Yeah, when you use the True Audio like that for musicians, you have to mute yourself until you're actually playing, or it's going to sound a little crazy.
How about now? No, it's doing it again. Man.
That's normal. Just start playing. It's okay.
Just start playing, Matt. It'll stop. Apparently, that's normal. Go ahead.
So y'all didn't hear that one last. Man, let me just turn this phone off. Bloody hell! I got my phone on too. Oh, I see. Gotta love this. All right, I'm just turning my phone off. How's it coming through?
Yeah, much better. Much louder.
Freaking phone power off.
It sounds fine. Just start playing. You're good.
Finally, my phone's shutting down. That Zoom is powerful. Okay. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam. The laptop's better, yeah. And come gather round, people, wherever you roam. And admit that the waters around you have grown. And accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times, they are changing. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pen. You better act now, the chance won't come again. But don't speak too soon, for the wheel still spin. And there's no telling who that is named. For the loser now will be later to win. For the times they are changed. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't block up your hallways, don't lock up your halls. For he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are changing. Come mothers, fathers throughout the land. Don't criticize what you can understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. So get out a new one if you can lend a hand. For the times they are changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, for the first one now will later be last. For the times they are a-changing. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you for that, Matt.
No problem.
The hearts are coming up.
All right. Feeling the love.
Do you play for like at bars or anything, or like do you go to gigs?
Yeah. I do mostly open mics, and we do this experimental jam every Sunday that I really like improv and experiments.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll have to come to one of them sometime if that's all right. You're very good.
Thanks.
All right, Alexa, are you ready to go on to the next section?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead. So we have Daniel from, actually they, let's see, Indivisible at Virginia Tech. So they have a certain way that we have to say it. So Daniel, I see you. Do you want to share your handsome face, or do you want to stay trying to find you?
My camera is on. Maybe if I
Oh,
talk, it'll come to
yes,
the
yes,
front.
there you are.
Yeah. Hey guys. I'm Daniel Moyer. I am helping to found a chapter of Indivisible at Virginia Tech. We're looking to become a registered student organization this semester, which basically just means we'll be able to host our own events and just have full like official club status. We're an unofficial club right now. But yeah, like I said, we're a student-run organization. We follow the Indivisible platform, remaking our democracy and embracing progressive values. What that looks like for us, first off, we have a program that's kind of our flagship program right now. We partner with Roanoke Indivisible to put on this program called Education to Empowerment. So it's basically a four-part series of learning about the world and what might not be going right, and how we can make it better. So there are four events. If anyone would like to attend, they will be posted out and sent out by Roanoke Indivisible, and us as well. Although they have more of a social media presence right now than we do. We're still just getting started. But it includes things like a sustainability panel that'll be in April. Beth Maisie's coming to speak at one of the events. So Walt Freeze, former CEO of Ben & Jerry's, is coming to Virginia Tech in February on February no on in March 3rd. Sorry, February 3rd is the first event. March 3rd is the second event. Walt Freeze is coming to Virginia Tech to speak about building and running a sustainable business. So topics like that. But overall, as a student organization, we advocate mainly for the future for our planet. We got a lot of students who'd like to enjoy this world for as long as they can, and so that's a big pressing issue to us. And the way we kind of tackle that is we're big on systems thinking. Everything's kind of a product of all the factors that go into it. So we look at the world a lot in three larger systems that get broken down into smaller systems. So we have our environmental system, our economic system, our social system, and we tackle all three of those problems at once. We can't have a sustainable, a better world without tackling those three problems at the same time. So, it'll include things like supporting better labor laws for a better economic system, or inclusion and diversity for better social systems, but things like that. And overall, we try and stay positive. We look at this fight, um, a lot of times it really brings us down. We're like, dang, this is a lot of work we have to do ahead of us. But we try and look at this fight as an opportunity to build the future we want to see and hopefully leave it better in the end, if we can. So that's all I got for you guys today. It's a short presentation for a just starting organization, but yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. I can add a little bit to that then. Daniel's going to be helping us out. You're doing a biological systems engineering degree at Virginia Tech. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. He's going to be helping us out, as well as some other people in Southwest here, Virginia, going to be helping us build out sustainable farming policies that's consistent, that hits all three of those pillars to make sure that everybody gets the future that they deserve, especially our farmers. And one of the big pillars of our campaign, something I didn't mention at the top, is that we want to build up local food chains again. Not just have these mega corporations where you might grow something in Florida and then it gets shipped across to California or somewhere, and then it comes to your grocery store. Now, obviously, we can't do it with everything, but we can have the essentials be provided for in local co-ops, local composting co-ops. We really want to make it so that way our local chains have a opportunity, and it's not just kind of going to mega corporations. So, thank you, Daniel.
Of course.
Switch this back to the gallery. Lisa, would you like to speak to it at all? Did I say your name right there too? I'm not sure.
You did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I will just say that my brother is actually the farmer. He has 150 acres. I have 75 acres adjoining. He's a cattle farmer primarily, but my three sons, are very interested in farm to table and renewable energy. So we're really looking at what we can do. And I personally would be into herbal medicinal herbs. So we're planning right now for what we're going to do with our farm in the future.
Very cool. Do you see, this is a random question, as medicinal herbs, do you see things like recreational cannabis, if that becomes legalized here, as an opportunity for farmers in Southwest Virginia? Or do you see that as a different kind of thing entirely?
I've had people ask me that when I tell them about medicinal herbs. I'm more into the traditional herbs, but
Okay.
my son the one that's into energy is very interested in hemp and the potential there for as an alternative to forestry, particularly and removal of the forests. So we're thinking more along those lines.
I've heard
Yes.
hemp has a lot of uses, like a lot of uses. Like
Oh,
it could
yeah.
even replace cotton and stuff.
I work in the hemp industry, so
Would you like to speak to it a little bit, Matt?
well, hemp does have a lot of uses. You can make bioplastics, you can make hemp board. It's like the same size board as wood, but it'd be 20 times or 10 times stronger and much lighter.
Really?
Yeah.
10
It's
times
very
stronger?
tough.
Wow.
I don't know if you ever tried to cut a stem of an adult cannabis plant, but it's really tough. And so it makes really tough fibers.
And I will have to say that part of my bias, I will say this, is that I have worked for close to 30 years. Once I became aware of OxyContin and the impact on our community of opioids, I have worked I currently head up a statewide nonprofit in Tennessee dealing with addiction. And the jury is still out about the impact of cannabis, particularly on younger folks. So
it
I'm
certainly had an
waiting-
impact on
yeah, I'm waiting for the research to come back to me on that.
the Colorado, when that, they were the flagship recreational state, and opiate use went down by 25%. Pharmaceuticals altogether did, and which is, bothers the pharmaceutical companies. Their alcohol use has gone down a lot, to the point that these alcohol companies have $23 billion worth of stock in storage they can't get rid of.
Wow.
And that's mostly due to cannabis legalization. So yeah, it does help people get off addictive substances.
I have heard the biggest issue I've heard with cannabis is that what it affects on the brain prior to being 25, with the brain fully developing.
Yeah, it's not good for young brains.
Correct. Yeah. And I think it's, if people who do enjoy it, we can acknowledge that it has a lot of uses, but it's not a perfect thing. There's nothing's perfect.
And it's not for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, cool. Do we just want to go into the next one then, Alexa? Or what are you feeling? You're muted right now, Alexa. Thank you, Lisa. You're still muted. I can see you talking, but I cannot hear you.
She is actually unmuted, but sound's not coming through.
Is your headset like plugged in, or did it die or anything? I don't know if it's wireless.
Well, do we know what the next thing is while
Just
she
write
figures that
notes
out?
Yeah,
Alexa and
Yeah, our next thing after this is going to be Georgia Randall talking about the Withco Dems, and she'll be singing a song or playing a song.
All right.
That's me. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Georgia Randall. I moved up ago, new to Southwest Virginia, but not new to Virginia. I belong to Wythe County Democrats, also Virginia Organizing, also Preserve Wythe County,
Awesome.
New River Blues Society, and Pulaski Theaters. I'm working with those. I'm a professional musician. I've been a professional musician since I was, and in the middle of all that, I spent 34 years as a nurse, ICU, emergency department. So as an ICU, nurse, how upset I was yesterday when
Yeah.
I work all over the place. You can look me up. I have 4 recorded albums out.
Ooh, I'm gonna look you up right now.
Yes, you can Google me. Yes, I have a Facebook artist page. I have I'm on a YouTube channel, and I'm going to do a song for you that I think, unfortunately, is very relevant. Let me know if the sound is quirky.
We can hear you, but you might want to potentially stop your video and just have it be your mic, because I think your bandwidth's a little rough right now. But if it's just your audio, I think it'll come in clearer. But we could definitely hear you playing.
So should I video, you said?
Yeah, if you just hit like the video icon, just click it, it'll stop your video, but your audio should still come through. And then it should hopefully be better on your bandwidth.
Okay. Something happening. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there. He's telling me I gotta beware. Think it's how we stop. What's that sound? Everybody's going down. Going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in that street singing the carry nights. Say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. What's that sound? Everybody buzz going down. Ooh, what's going down now? That is right. If everybody, young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance. I'm gonna stop. What's that sound? Everybody puts down. Ooh, it's going down. Something happening here. But it ain't exactly. See, there's a man. He's telling me. Think it's time we stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's down. Ooh, I'm down. Get into your heart, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down the stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down the stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. 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 What's going down now? The end.
Very cool. That was awesome.
That's wonderful.
You can hear that okay?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And if I don't want to leave my screen, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Phew. So I accidentally, one of these buttons got pushed and I didn't realize it, so I apologize. That was beautiful, Georgia. Do you have another one for us? Do you have another one? If not, that's fine, but we'd love to hear if you're willing.
Okay, I can do another.
Oh, all right, cool. Thank you.
Should I take my audio off again?
Your video.
It's up to you. I think
Video.
there was a little bit of like Wi-Fi interference, I think, where it kind of cuts out occasionally regardless. So I don't know if it's going to be better one way or the other. So it's up to you if you really want to.
Okay. It sounded the same even with my video.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But you sounded very good. I could hear the you playing on the guitar well, and I could hear you singing. It was just occasionally it would kind of cut for a second. I think that's Southwest Virginia internet for us, right?
Okay, let's do this one. On the river, little town, just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming. No change gonna come. Yes, it is now. It's been too hard living. I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming. Oh, change is gonna come. Yes, it is. Then I go to the movies, go downtown. Everybody keeps telling me, Georgia, you gotta stop coming around. It's been a long time coming. No change is gonna come. Yes, it is. Then I go to my brother. Brother, I said to my brother, won't you help me? Won't you help me now? My brother, he keeps on it down, right down on my knees. There's been times when I thought it'll last for long. Now I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time away. No change gonna come. It's gonna come now. Dare to change. It's gonna come. Share the change. Come. I got the change. Oh, gonna come out. I know the change. Oh, gonna come out. I got the change. Oh, it's gonna come now. Oh, I know. Change. It's gonna come now. Yes, it is. I sure
Wow.
hope so.
That was awesome.
Amazing. Wow. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So Georgia, we need to see this live. So maybe share your next live show. Do you have a live show coming up?
Well, I do videos of all my gigs, so I've all
Okay.
those on my page.
Yeah. So one of the things as Adam and maybe get ready to share some of the upcoming events here, Adam, that you're headed out. Adam, as I mentioned earlier, is on a tour, so he's going all over. So when you think about setting up events or kind of getting out there, it'd be amazing to sort of plan it at a musical event, right?
Yes.
So it's incredible. And one of the things when we were thinking about today, there's something about music that really pulls people together even more. So I want to give a shout out to Holly, who is the person who reached out to a lot of the musicians here today. I think all of the musicians here today, maybe not all, but most. And I want to kind of thank her, Holly Morrow, who's the fearless leader of the NRV Resistance and who was responsible for letting you guys know about this, and super thankful that you guys were able to share your beautiful voices and songs with us. It is the thread that I feel like pulls us all together. So thank you very much. So
Yeah, thank you
really
for the wonderful
beautiful.
music. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Music definitely makes people come together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does.
And
So
cross culture, it's the only real international language.
yeah, I agree, Matt. So so Adam, give a little shout out a little bit where you're headed over the tour, just to give people an idea. So if they're in the area or they can show up, they know where to find you.
Okay. I can do that, no problem.
And where they can find it on your website too. So in case they don't write it down now, they'll know where to look.
So if you go to murphy4va.com, at the bottom there's events. I'm going to be moving it up to the top soon too, so it should be easier to see. But bottom of the website, if you're on mobile, there'll be like a little hamburger thing, the 3 bars. If you click on that, that'll show you the menu. You can kind of see our public calendar where we're planning on being. We just finished up Montgomery, I would say, week where we've been kind of all around Montgomery, doing things, having fundraising dinners, meeting people, meet and greeting. And now we're kind of entering into Radford Pulaski week. And it might be more than 1 week, but right now we just did a meet and greet at Arabica. The actual other Radford coffee shop reached out to after that, which I thought was kind of cool. We've been talking to a whole bunch of small business owners. And pretty soon here, especially here in February, we're really going to start canvassing in earnest. So far, it's been mostly just our own events, but we're going to be giving volunteers the opportunity to do phone banking, texting, or going canvassing with us. In February, I'm looking at the calendar here, so that's why I'm looking over here to the left. We have on February 13, we're going to be doing something at the Fiber Arts, or the Floyd Center for the Arts, at the Fiber Arts open house that they're having that day. So if you're a big fan of the arts and you want to see some things and see us in person, that'd be a good opportunity too. We have some next week, this week, I guess, we have on Thursday. It's kind of a big day for us. We're going to be talking to New River Community Action. There's something at 1 o'clock that I'm forgetting off the top of my head because I don't see it on the calendar at this exact second. And then we have a Pulaski Townhall. So if you'd like to kind of do this, you'd like to meet us in person again, or just you're in Pulaski or you're close to the area, that'll be 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday, the 29th of January. And then other things going on in February, we have a whole bunch of DIM committee meetings we're trying to make. There'll be some other stuff that we're still filling out in the calendar. And then kind of culminating at the start of March, kind of that's where we're planned up through at the moment. We're going to have this with Phil meet and greet at Seven Sisters Brewery. That'll be March 1st. Come out as well for that if you'd like. That'll be 2 to 5. And then we're going to be right after that going to the hockey arena game that they have there. So that should be a lot of fun. And we're going to probably have a table set up there too. So if you didn't get merchandise or signs or whatever at the first thing, you'll be able to get it the second thing. And we'll continue to do events like this. One of the big reasons we're doing this event is we actually, Morgan Griffith literally said recently at a Withville meeting that, because it's a primary going on, I can't even do a town hall or a teletown hall. And with the snow coming up, it seemed like a really great opportunity to show that actually you can do that. And so I really want to thank everybody here for being here and joining us. I just wanted to make a mention that if you are interested in helping out the campaign, if you have a unique insight, this is again a grassroots bottom-up type campaign. This is not all my opinions are the only opinions and everybody else can go pound sand. That's not how this works. The communities know their problems far better than anybody else facing them. And what we need to be able to do is listen to them, understand them, and then go fight like hell when we go to Washington and get it fixed. And so we have ideas for some of the major overarching things, but there's a lot of things that are very specific to Southwest Virginia that we need to be able to bring home here. And so if anybody wants to volunteer, give their expertise, give their opinion, please do sign up on our website and help out. And Susan, that's a perfect, thank you for reminding me. On February 27th, Indivisible's hosting a candidate forum for all the candidates in this primary, as well as Morgan Griffith, but I don't think Morgan Griffith's going to attend. So it should be very good. We're going to be making a public call out to him, by the way, to say, hey, Morgan Griffith, are you going to show up here? We promised him that we'd tell him that in person as well as at thing. So we're going to go to one of those staff hours and tell their staff, hey, bet, basically, are you going to show up?
Right, right.
So that's
definitely.
Oh, it
yeah,
hasn't
that's
been
just a
answered.
few.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Susan.
definitely. Oh, right, hasn't been answered yet. Awesome. So Adam, it's coming up. The next thing on our agenda is the AI data center. So I don't know if you had other people that were going to kind of work with you on presenting.
I was
on that,
hoping
but
Tony would present on that. Is he on the call?
I see him on the call. So Tony, are
Yes, I'm
you here? All right. Did you want to unmute or, but before we move into that, kind of get you ready, Tony, I want to thank Georgia again for that amazing song and songs, and look forward
Yes,
to
thank
hearing
you.
more. I'm going to check you out. If you want to put your information in the chat, that would be a great way for others to be able to contact you as well. So Adam actually put to join as a volunteer. I put the wrong link in there. I said a contact page. So definitely kind of click on that link and you can get in to volunteer with us. One of the things that has always worked well in kind of all the work that I've done is that we're stronger together. And so we come up with ideas in a group better together. So it's not like Adam says, it's not a top down, it's very much a grassroots kind of bottom up. So again, so any ideas you have as you go through this, please throw them in the chat. We are going to save the chat and also send it out to all of you. And again, thank you all for being here. And so I'll hand it over to you, Tony.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm going to
Hey,
spotlight you
Adam.
here.
Adam, I didn't know if you wanted to speak anything on data centers in general first before I start talking with the presentation. Is there anything you want to mention first?
I think we'll save that for the impact side of it. Just I'll let everybody know kind of what we're doing with this. So this next 30 minutes is going to be talking about data centers, kind of giving a background technically about what they are, what they look like, from like a high level, more specific to, you know, general data centers, how many there are in the United States, et cetera. And then we're going to more talk about the impact and kind of how our campaign is planning to deal with that that impact coming at us in the next part of it. So I was thinking for this one, Tony, it was mostly just going to be let you kind of go through your presentation, share everybody, let everybody kind of get up to speed with what we already know about data centers.
Okay.
And Tony, are you comfortable sharing your camera or no?
I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, right. Okay. Sounds good.
There we go. So can you see it?
Yes.
All right, so a little bit of background about me. I met Adam several months ago, and I think a lot of people have concerns about data centers in general, as I met him at the Board of Supervisors meeting down here in Wythe County, and a number of other individuals as well. And you know, there's a lot of folks upset about the proliferation of data center growth and how it impacts the community, and you know, so forth and so on. A variety of aspects, but the bigger thing that pulled me into this area was the lack of transparency and open communication with with Board of Supervisors. And I know this is an issue statewide and global with the way data centers are being proposed to these localities under NDAs and closed sessions, and in businesses that are ultimately behind these data centers are just trying to obscure and obfuscate you know, their identities and what they're ultimately doing, because they know that it will be met with some resistance. So with that being said, I wanted just to speak at a high level about data centers and, you know, more specifically how it impacts Virginia, but the concept is pretty much the same regardless, except for where it contrasts in rural area and urban areas where data centers are more popular at the moment, but they're being, you know, residents are being pushed out. They're being built up along, you know, residential areas, and they've got their own issues in those urban settings versus rural. But we have our own issues too with them. So with that being said, I just wanted to run through a few slides here and talk about this. Just give you some background. I've worked in the IT industry for going on 2 decades now. I work with small and medium-sized businesses to provide you know, enterprise solutions. So I have a background in IT. I don't work in a data center per se, but I do have a well understanding of what they are and what they do and how they impact folks. So understanding data centers, what is a data center? So that's what we're going to cover first. The data center is a physical facility that houses computing infrastructure. So when somebody says it's in the cloud, there's not really a cloud, it's just someone else's computer. And these computers are just stored in these large facilities called data centers. So they are servers, storage systems, network communication, cooling systems, etc. These centers serve as the backbone of digital services, enabling storage, processing, transmission, vast amounts of data. They are essential for everyday activities like email, online banking, streaming, cloud services. Everyone uses, resources that need data centers to function, to provide those services. Data centers require a significant amount of resources, including electricity, power systems, to power servers, power cooling systems. They need a lot of water and thermal management. They have to dissipate that heat. They need robust security system measures and other and protect system sensitive information. Their design is often includes redundant power supplies. There's backup generators involved. There are advanced fire suppression things that are needed, and other things to ensure that uninterrupted operation continues. In rural communities, data centers can appear as large industrial buildings, often located near power substations or other infrastructure where there's adequate power supply already. There needs to be adequate fiber optic networks, for internet connectivity to connect to the internet. They provide critical digital infrastructure, and their physical presence and resources demands can impact local communities. Utilities and ecosystems, understanding that data centers helps and communicates appreciate why these facilities are expanding and why their development needs careful planning and regulation. So core infrastructure, just summarizing those items on this slide is what you're seeing. And I can ask if anybody has any questions. If anybody's got any questions, they can ask. Otherwise, I'll continue. So the evolution of data centers and what they were and why what they are today. So this is a brief history of data centers and their types. So data centers were small originally. They were more centralized rooms within existing internal businesses.
More mainframe, basically. Like
more mainframe based.
like at AAA where I worked with insurance, their entire backbone was all maintained by like a 1980s mainframe that kind of was like the final decision maker when it came to processing claims and rating policies and stuff. So that's some industries still use that strategy of them.
The government does for sure, to some degree. So and so it expanded from there to more enterprise co-location facilities, which is where you'll have your own business will have their own internal IT environment within a facility or within its own dedicated facility. Co-location is a facility where different businesses can lease or rent space within a larger facility to put their own equipment. And then as the dot-com bubble came, cloud computing started to expand, and so forth and so on. And now today, and in this last several years, we've had a big boom in AI and hyperscale type computing, which requires a lot more processing power, to run these AI engines, if you will, and so that's why we're seeing a lot of this explosion. Is all these companies are coming out with their different chat bots, and it's not just chat bots, but AI is used for a lot of different things. And so it kind of gives you a brief history of they were more simpler. Data centers really weren't data centers; they're more just mainframes, and then they've evolved to everybody is wanting to use AI for everything, and so businesses, these big corporations are deploying these large data centers throughout, and that's where we are. So, we've already talked about it. Duplicated. Okay. So growth drivers and community impact. Um, the U.S. has the largest number of data centers globally. It accounts to about 45% of all facilities worldwide. And Virginia has the largest number of data centers within the U.S.
The other 45%, just I'm going to interject a few times. I'm sorry. The other 45% is basically in China, and then the other 10% is spread out pretty much to the rest of the world. So just keep that in mind.
Right. Yeah. China is like number 2, and with their big growth, they're going to get a lot more, obviously. So yes, but right now the U.S. is still number 1 in that regard. Virginia specifically has the highest concentration, specifically, northern part, Loudoun County, etc. up there. So that kind of gives you a map, and that map is from that Business Insider. From Business Insider, they did a documentary on data centers and how they were able to locate some of these facilities, because there's no like standard or centralized database of where data centers are. So you have to use data from different sources to kind of put together a map. And so that's where that is from. So why are data centers growing? As I said, cloud computing demands are on the increase. People are doing more remote work. There's more digital services. AI and big data analytics creates a high computational demand, requiring more advanced data centers, more of them. And data centers do bring jobs and taxes, but the strain on resources and such are a big concern.
And they only bring so many jobs in these hyperscale data centers. I mean, most of the data centers have that same issue, but it's usually more of a temporary construction, and then the permanent jobs are significantly less than other ones. And Virginia in particular, as well as other states, I think it's 48 states have this, that they give tax exemptions to data centers. So even though they do bring in taxes, there might be state benefits or local municipality benefits that allow them. I think in Virginia, ours is 1.6 billion that we've lost in potential revenue because of all the tax incentives we give to these data centers.
Right. So environmental impacts are, water usage and impact. Data centers use millions of gallons of water for cooling. If they use an evaporative style cooling, risking groundwater and private well supplies if groundwater is used. You have wastewater issues, discharging of wastewater, especially if it's into the ground. If it's not treated or addressed prior to discharge, it can cause certain issues with the temperature of the water that's being discharged. If there's any chemicals or any compounds that hadn't been removed prior to discharge, they can harm ecosystems, aquatic life, etc. You have the issue of air and noise pollution. Noise pollution is one that a lot of people talk about, especially in Northern Virginia, because of the data centers just being built right up on residential areas and so forth. That can be an issue physically and mentally for folks. So it's important that is addressed. And land use and infrastructure. Data centers are large facilities that take up a lot of land, and challenges and challenge rural communities, or challenge rural utilities with high demand power needs and such. Energy, privacy, and regulatory needs. As mentioned before, data centers are growing. They require a lot of power. They've required a lot of power in the past. So data centers project to grow from 460 terawatt hours in 2024 to over 1,000 in 2030, and is expected to reach 1,300 or more by 2035 at the base level. So grid impacts. AI data centers, operate just like almost any data center, operates 24/7, requires stable power delivery. This means that they constrain local electricity infrastructure, forcing utilities to expand substations, transmission lines, and generation capacity. This can ultimately lead to higher energy costs for consumers if regulations are not put in place. This is the share of electricity. So this is by energy, what the energy is used for in a data center. So smaller enterprise, co-location, and hyperscale is broken down here. So if you have a business and you run your own IT infrastructure within your facility, or you have a separate facility for your own IT needs, most of that, a substantial amount of that goes to obviously running the equipment, the servers, if you will. And then the next largest portion is the cooling. Cooling is a big aspect, and so it requires a lot of energy. So you can see as a whole at the top, running the servers takes about 60%, and then the next biggest item is the cooling. And the differences between hyperscale and say enterprise or co-location is you can see that cooling costs is a smaller portion, but you can see that the compute side with the servers is substantially higher. And it's important to know that non-AI data centers are more of generalized computer processing, storage, transport of the data to and from wherever it's going, and so forth and so on. Whereas the hyperscale and the AI side of things uses not just generalized compute CPU power, but it uses specific hardware like graphics processor units, GPUs, that require a lot of memory and so forth and so on. So it's a bigger requirement for energy on that side of things. And cooling is less because a lot of data centers, they just use evaporative cooling, so the cost for that is less because it's a trade-off. It just uses more water instead of more power, which has its own issues. So there are other ways to cool this infrastructure and the facilities, and that's using more of a closed loop system where the coolant flows in a loop and nothing gets consumed from the water supply or really discharged. But those types of systems require more capital investment, and so a lot of these companies just don't install those type of systems. They just pump hundreds of thousands or millions of gallons of water from either the ground or from the municipal supply every day. So it's a trade-off. Which is cheaper for the business, water or implementing some newer technology that costs more money? Water's cheaper. So that's why a lot of them are doing that. When without regulation or other policies, it's nothing to really stop them from doing it. I mean, they're building these larger data centers out in Arizona and Phoenix, where there's already a significant water crisis, and a lot of the big companies are out there building these data centers in the middle of the desert, which makes zero sense.
So Tony, I just want to interrupt real quick. Ivory is going to come on. It's 1:30, so maybe if
Okay.
is there
Yeah,
something?
it's only 2 more slides really.
Okay.
So AI, data privacy, and consumer rights. Aside from the data center aspect of it and what they are and how they do their thing, it's the issue of what they're processing. So AI is a bigger topic of privacy. Having some accountability and having some regulatory oversight of these data centers and what they're doing in regards to our consumer privacy and addressing any ethical areas of concern. And then, of course, communication and public awareness. There needs to be open communication between the companies, the local economic development authorities, and all levels to make sure that people that live in these communities are aware of what's coming and going for their localities. So solutions, ideal data centers could, use renewable power. They could use battery backup instead of diesel generators, and so forth and so on. Placing these in places that are not environmentally sensitive. They're not in areas where people are living next door. They're in industrial zones that are properly zoned and designed and can accommodate these types of system or these facilities. Like I said, efficient water cooling, use a closed loop type system with no discharge to the environment, and so forth and so on, and ensuring that privacy and transparency is adhered to throughout the entire process. And so got to manage the environmental risk, holding people accountable to certain level of standards, and just doing things responsibly, because data centers aren't ultimately going anywhere. They're not going to stop being developed. They are going to exist, and we just need to make sure that we can coexist with them in a way that is viable. So that's all I have.
And on our campaign specifically, like, we understand that data centers have to exist, specifically the co-location and cloud ones for the internet backbone. But the ones that they're trying to build today are going to tend to be the AI hyperscale data center. And that's the ones that we really need to limit and slow down, because we don't need to continue to feed this AI bubble. But the other ones, to Tony's point, is completely true. We will need data centers. We'll need some of them. That's why on that one map you might have saw, there was actually some out in Southwest Virginia already. Those exist in Wise County because the county did that deal like 15 years ago, and that was for cloud computing. It wasn't the same type of data centers that we're seeing today.
That's correct. That data center is a totally different type than what we're seeing now with this generative AI requiring all this computational power. That's an issue in itself, and I'm not a fan of that type of.
Someone pointed out that this bill in the state about data center transparency, one of the requirements is for companies to get a closed loop system, but it's not. It's kind of ambiguous, or it allows them to do an internal closed loop, but it's still connected to the water and the environment,
Yeah, the wastewater management of that is important. And as we just saw on this too, with hyperscale, that's only like 10% of their power. The vast majority of the power is coming from the computation needs.
Right. One of the members, folks working on the campaign, were speaking about doing some of these speaking engagements across the district too. So some of the information that you just heard from Tony, we wanted to sort of plan events to talk more and share more of this information. So really, as you guys think about that and where that might work, please let us know, because we really do want to get the education and word out on that. Also, we have Ivory, who is the campaign manager for Maeve McCulloch. So Ivory, do you want to come to the stage?
Hey, yeah, sorry, he joined in like 30 minutes ago. But I guess I need to state first, we're not releasing until like July-ish. So everything I'm saying is on my behalf and not on like our brand, because quite frankly, we're still in the development pages of like what we want our brand to be. So I figured I'd just get that out of the way. But stuff I was looking at, don't know how to share my screen.
You should be able to.
Okay, here we go. So I found a couple of Reddit articles, which are the best places to see like how things are affecting people real time. If it'll, I'm trying to shoot. Oh. Okay, it's not letting me share it, but I'll just hit deny. Okay, so pretty much.
Tony, are you still sharing? Try now, because it might have.
Okay.
No, I turned mine off earlier.
Oh, you did. Okay.
So I think it's something with my computer, but pretty much there is a lot of like the after effects and the ripples of creating these new data centers, and they need things like RAM, hard drives, all of that. We're seeing it come back on us and affecting our wallets, because a lot of people like there's so many threads of people just comparing prices. This one, when I first ordered 12 terabytes for my server on July 10th, 24, they were $90 a pop from a big reputable hard drive refurbisher, and now it's $180 for one. And we're seeing that like with the prices of RAM, because RAM is just that short-term memory for your computer. It's very important to like need it to run if you're building your own PC. And let's see here. The current RAM upgrade for this particular user would be $240, and then apparently exactly 1 year ago for Christmas, they built that same PC and the same RAM was only $80. that's about as much as I'm looped into it, just because like I have a lot of people around me that are very into computers and building their own PCs, and just seeing like the price increases of everything just to build your own computer. Like they're trying to price us out of being able to have our own physical computers. They're starting to go towards like what is it? Like the cloud services and everything like that. And I feel like it kind of just it's something important to harp on about how much those prices have risen.
Can I
Like
add
in
something
just
to that? Okay, so she's 100% right on that, but something we also have to keep in mind, the reason they're buying up all this RAM is, yes, for these data centers, but the way they see the internet of the future is that none of us would own a PC. You wouldn't have like a laptop that has the capabilities to do things. You wouldn't have a computer, your TV wouldn't be able to. You would connect remotely to their data centers where they have all this cloud computing where you would own nothing and you have to access everything through subscription. That's like the long-term vision of the internet that they want to build. And so they're buying up all these things, making it harder and harder. And while the gaming ecosystem of the tech space is actually not a huge part of the market, they're actually discontinuing things that people would build in their private industry all the time, or making them absurdly expensive, whether it be RAM, graphics cards, processors, and that's exactly why, is because they're trying to give us a future where you own nothing and you'll like it, right? And that's not the way it should be. I don't believe in subscription models for our technology. I don't really feel like that's how everything should be accessed. I don't think that's fair. I think it's has a whole bunch of concerns. And like Tony said, a cloud computer literally is just a computer that's just somewhere else that you connect to through the internet. It's not like rocket science. And that's why they want to do it. As they get better and better computer chips and technology, they will be able to do this. And if you've been in the gaming space, they've been able to already, I mean, think about it. Netflix is like that. Gaming, streaming is a thing. This is becoming more and more of a thing. And eventually Windows operating system, Mac operating system might be streamed to a thin client that doesn't really have the ability to do anything else, and it's locked down, and you lose a lot of consumer rights with this, which is why we need to be really on our ball with it.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
Not just more.
That was pretty. Oh, sorry.
Not just more expensive because of the subscription model, but also privacy issues.
Absolutely. And like as we just saw with Twitter the other day, where they updated the terms of service, where if you use it, you consent automatically to the AI being able to use your likeness on it. The privacy concern potential is massive. And we're not really ready for a future where big tech continues to control and own everything, which is why I used Blade Runner or Cyberpunk as an example of like the future they want to build is very dystopian. It is not a future that benefits us as consumers, as Americans, as people. It is very, very, very dark. And we need to be very on top of this technology, because a lot of people in Congress, they don't know any of this, or they're rubber stamping it like Eric Phillips says, "Oh, I want the data centers for revenue," right? Like they're short-term gains for long-term destruction, and we really need to get eye on the prize with this.
100%. Yeah, like I think that's what I was trying to articulate, but I didn't have like I couldn't get it all together. But like definitely just them pricing us out of being able to live. And like because a lot of my family is Republican, and just like when I try to explain some of these things, it's like this isn't left or right. Like this is like they're trying to price us out of being able to own a computer and like basic things. Like what's next, a toothbrush? Like where is the line?
You're absolutely right. It's literally everywhere. Suzanne, you're perfectly right, right? Like housing, like they're trying to make this model be in all of our industries. It's not just technology. It's literally everywhere. You will own nothing and be happy about it. Like that is the goal. And we really need to be on the ball here to be able to make sure that people have those rights, and we don't continue to give everything to private debt and equity, and that we actually have it, some things publicly owned, some things privately owned, but not everything owned by like 3 companies, because it's not good for our society. It's not good for our economy. It'll be bad. It'll be a bad reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd not thought about this in the way you're describing it, but it seems like an important way to describe those that are concerned about their freedom of speech and all the freedoms. This very thing, I think, could get through to a lot of those people. You can't even build your own computer that's yours, so they want in on that too. So That's really interesting, Ivory. Thanks for sharing that information. First time I heard it. I bought a bunch of items for my son's fiance because she's building her own computer. I had no idea how revolutionary it was to do that.
I will speak on.
Built his, and so I got to see the prices firsthand, and it's. Oof, sorry, continue.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I could speak on a couple of things about that. Being in the space that I am, I see that on the enterprise side now because I have to quote, server projects and things like that for clients, and since November or the late part of last year versus now, those memory and solid state storage for hard drives has gone up 40 to 60%. I know my distributors are telling me that they're no longer going to guarantee quotes for 30 days. They only guarantee them for 7 to 14 days.
It's crazy.
So the market is so volatile. And right now, the end consumers, your phones, your tablets, your basic computers and things that people have now, those prices will go up with time because as it works in the in the supply chain type of thing and contracts is that these large companies have contracts with these memory suppliers 6 to 8 months out, but in a few more months the consumer is going to start seeing it not only just in buying RAM as I can't remember your name. What's your name again?
Ivory.
Ivory had mentioned, yeah, if you go and buy RAM as a consumer right now, you'll see that it's substantially higher, but you'll start seeing it in finished goods, in several more months. If a new phone comes out, new versions of whatever, you'll start seeing that more and more. But it does hurt the bottom line of anybody that's buying any type of tech in general. So
I am curious about how many other folks on here have heard about that. You can raise your hand or raise your
React to,
hand.
yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, raise your hand if you had already heard about this kind of development. So yeah. Okay, some of us, but not most of us know it hasn't. So
I knew it was coming as about later part of August is when I started getting
wow, it's crazy
information coming to me.
So Ivory, did you have anything else? We have about 1 more minute left.
I think that was it. I pretty much got because the big point was just how much they're just trying to take from the consumer. Like like from being able to buy your own computer and all this stuff, how they want to just make it such a subscription model and not, you get to just own it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ivory. Your cat's adorable, by the way. Doing the little paws out.
There's so many perfect shots there. So
hey, this is Susan. Sorry, my video's not on, but this is how it's been happening, right? We got rid of all our CDs. Now we subscribe to music, right? We're streaming. We don't have our DVDs anymore.
Yep.
So we don't own anything. We pay somebody for the ability to use it.
Yep.
And it's I didn't know about the computers though, so I'm gonna have to go talk to my IT guy about what we're gonna do about that.
Yeah, it's coming for everything, it seems like, and we really need to reverse the trend.
Yeah, perpetual ownership is out the door, unfortunately. One of the things.
Thank you. Well, so Ivory, thank you so much, and thank you, Tony, for this really kind of enlightening information on the AI, and more to come, right? More to come on that. So thank you for that great presentation, Tony, and thank you, Ivory, for
one last comment I want to make. Adam had said that companies are buying things up and it's going to be consolidated as subscription. You have to be in the cloud. It also is a point to make that. When things are so centralized and funneled into narrow paths like this, it allows more of government looking into your data. It's a choke point for the government to acquire that information and to use it for whatever purposes, just like the telephone network was used that way.
And or corporate oversight, right? We're looking at corporate oversight. So
Right.
we're going to move on, Tony. We're going to move on to the next act because we have kind of a big lineup. So, and but thank you both, Tony and Ivory and Matt, for sharing that. And I want to welcome Whitney for the next. I think that's who we are up next. So Whitney, thank you so much for being here and being willing to share your music with us. So big round of applause. Thank you, Whitney.
Can you unmute, Whitney? I muted you early because you came on just a second too early. But yeah, there you go. Ooh, I can't hear you though.
I'd like to thank Matt. I'd like to thank Matt and the other performers work, like to get my microphone to work and everything to be here. Like, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
So, all right. If it's too loud, I can fix that too. And I've got the vocals coming through just to try to make this work and keep it as simple as possible. Because first of all, thank you all for having me as part of this. And Adam, I'm all about it. When we first started talking about this last night, when Alexa, thank you for making it happen, called me, or my friend Holly hit me up, and my wife said, "Well, what's this guy all about? Do you support him or not?" And I'm like, "Well, anybody's going against Griffith, I vote for a Rotten Tomato." But then I hear what you're saying, and you're dead. We're right on the same page. And these conversations about AI and the data centers and the prices of computer components, this isn't the first time. Monsanto, you can't own your own seeds.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't plant your own food. So this is the corporate, just the next step of the corporations taking over. Well, now they've taken over our government completely.
Yeah.
Completely. When Eisenhower warned of the industrial military complex, nobody listened. He was a general.
Yeah.
He just won World War II. And so anyway, just to cut to the chase, I have a song here I wrote about Breonna Taylor. Because let's not forget Breonna Taylor. She was laying in her bed, and they were looking for drugs. So this song is a single of mine, and it's out there on WhitneyLewisMusic.com, or I have a Facebook page, and this was done with a band called the Buck and Grizz Show. So you can look it up there. But anyway, it's like a very, it just struck me. It hit me hard. They can kick your door in the middle of the night and shoot you if you fight back, which, I like the concealed carry admission because why not? Come on.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. It's called Time for Change. Wondering if our future is brighter. These thoughts have been floating all around in my head all these days. As we sit and watch now, our blood begins to boil. We all want change. We're all upset now. What are we gonna do? Just dancing by now. See what they do. Gonna make it all change now. Gonna see that through. just satisfied now. See what they do. Gonna make it all change now. Gonna see that through. Gonna make a better world now. For me and you. Hoping that our future is brighter than our past can be. Now maybe a little bit more warmed up. So I got another one if you have time or if you want to move on, because I appreciate how this event happened so quickly, and it went from 5 hours to 3 hours. And I thought, well, this is a song I want to do for sure. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for being. Yes, let's do.
We still got
let's
time.
do one more.
We got 6
still have
minutes at
time. You
least.
got-
Yeah, absolutely.
we got
Please
time.
do. Please do.
Yes.
And this
yeah.
corporate.
I thought it was interesting how all three of us did a song with change in the title.
Yeah.
The Matrix. Every movie you ever saw, like that'll never happen. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to move on and give time to.
No, we want you. We have time for you, Whitney. Go ahead. We have time.
I got the one for you.
All right.
Put it on my put it on the album as a cover. And did the loopers sound okay? Okay. Well, I just want to make sure. Did the loopers get you? So this is an old song by Alvin Lee and 10 Years After. And here we go.
You might want to turn your video
So
off
all
and
this-
just see if that helps. I don't know if the video turning it off, although I like watching you sing, so I don't know. It's kind of a toss up. So, but it might help with the sound.
Okay, yeah, I'll be glad. So let me see here.
Just on Zoom, hit the little video icon. If you click it.
No, stop video.
Yeah, if you just click it once. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should get like crossed out.
I can't do it. Yeah, there he goes.
There we go. There we go. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just my name. Bust out my rock and roll real some acoustic here. All right, still here. Everywhere it's getting heavy. Something's gonna break the levee of sanity. It is funny to eat the poor till there are no more, yeah. I'd love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. I forgot the words there. Here comes the words. Life is funny, skies are sunny, bees make honey. Who needs money? No, not for me. Love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. Oh yeah. don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. So I leave it up to you. Rock and roll, y'all.
Wow. Wow.
That was
That's
awesome. Thank you.
amazing. Wow.
Thank
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
Whitney.
that
That's amazing.
Did you notice that we all three did songs with change in the title?
I did.
Let's do it
Yes.
together.
Yeah, do it together for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope we can do
Right,
this
and it is
sometime
about that.
live, right? I hope we can do this live. I think that's the next plan, is to have like a number of you back, but we have a live setting. So if you guys are up for that, we'll work on planning it. But if you're game for that, would love to set that up. So
Let me know whatever you want me to do to help you with this, because believe me, I thought about collecting 10,000 signatures myself to run against this guy. Damn. I mean,
well,
come
we
on.
do need that. That's another that we do need that for sure. We need to collect those signatures. So
Yep.
Yeah, let me know. Whatever
Woo!
I can do to help. And if you're
That
here,
was
you're going to be over at Radford, and I'm going to be at Radford Coffee Company on the 12 to 3 doing my thing. I love a
oh,
Radford too. I love that place. So
nice.
let me know what you're doing there, because
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Well, Whitney,
Thank y'all very, very much.
make sure you put all your information so we can contact you and other people can connect with you as well. So that was amazing, and thank you so much for stepping forward with that. So
Alexa,
thank you.
can I interrupt? Can I
oh,
interrupt?
go ahead. Yes, Helena, go ahead. Please
Can
do.
Whitney and Georgia, if you guys are interested in working with us, anybody on the call, just go on the website. If you guys want to volunteer and get involved, we need people. We have a lot of great ideas and we need the people to execute them. You can go onto the website and sign up to be a volunteer, and either myself or Cheryl will be contacting you directly, get you set up. So,
And to add to Helena's
my
point,
pitch.
we would love to do like live events with each other,
Absolutely.
and have like a local artists, whether that be art, physical art or musical talent like yourselves, come out for an event, whether it be a fundraising dinner or a local charity event, so that way we can help out our food banks and stuff. We'd love to work with you on that if you'd be interested.
Well, we even have an artistic creative czar director here. I don't think Lauren is in the Zoom, so but
She's
might
been
be
messaging
live.
in the Zoom chat. She's been messaging
Oh, she
in the
has.
Zoom
So
chat.
Lauren,
Yeah.
do you want to share? Yeah, introduce yourself real quickly and let us know what you kind of have in mind for the artistic side and creative side for this.
Hey everybody, I was just muted so I could, enjoy the music. But I'm gonna be kind of leading up the arts and culture music side of this. So what I've been doing is making a list of every art festival, art venue, gallery, every kind of art, any place we can express some artistic, creativity. I am making a very large list and a very large calendar. So the idea is going to be that we are going to be reaching out to artists, kind of finding out, how they want to be involved, what they want to know about the campaign from Adam's side, and just finding a general way to connect the arts in the area to the campaign and see what's going on with all of that. Another thing we're trying to do is do an artist round panel discussion where we will work with Adam. We'll do a little town hall, but it's also going to be very much about the arts and culture in our area. So stay tuned. There's a lot in the works.
Thank you, Lauren.
Now, our next guest. I got a chance to meet John recently. So actually at your launch, Adam, I was able to kind of catch up with him. So John, you are next. So welcome and thanks for being a part of this event. We so appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Well, I want to thank you and Adam for putting me on right behind some great entertainment. And I'm going to be talking about some boring stuff here. So thank you very much. Give you a little bit of my background. My name's John Peace. Live in Big Stone Gap, Virginia, which If y'all don't know where that's at, we're down in Wise County, way down in the tip, right on the Kentucky border. I kid about, we're so far up in the mountains, even Presbyterians handle snakes up here. So, and I'm Presbyterian, so I can say that. Somebody caught that.
Oh my God.
But anyway, give you a little bit of my background. I was on the board of supervisors in the early 2000s here in Wise County. And we got involved in forming a company, and now we've kind of progressed into a political action committee that fundraises for rural Democrats. And Alexa said, well, this ain't a fundraising thing. No, but we're going to talk about something that is so important, and I'll go into it here in a little bit. This is about 10 years ago. My business partner, Doug Mullins, is our current Commissioner of Revenues. He's won 9 elections in Megaland. And when I say Megaland, Wise County voted 80% for Donald Trump. And that same day, Doug Mullins won Commissioner of Revenue as a Democrat that same day. And we've had other Democrats win. There was another Democrat here local who won many a race, even when it was starting to turn very mega, was a Jack Kennedy. And I remember him making this speech one time talking about you need 3 things to win an election. Okay. You need a good candidate, and we have that with Adam Murphy. You need a good message, and I think Adam has a good message. And Mel, you're on here. There's some other candidates. Joy, Mike McGear might still be on here. The third, and just as important, is Mike calls it capacity. Well, capacity is fundraising. You got to get your message and your name in front of people. Okay. And when I was elected 20 years ago, it was pretty simple locally. If you raised, and I was on board supervisor, so if you raised, let's say $5,000 to $10,000, you bought some TV ads, bought a few radio ads, a few newspaper ads, and some yard signs. And that would get you in front of eyeballs. That'd get you probably in front of 70, 80% of the voters in that county. Okay. That doesn't even touch getting in front of people nowadays. We've had previous congressional candidates who were good candidates, who actually ran good campaigns. I'll guarantee you 80% of the voters in Wise County walked in the voting booth, and the first time they even heard that Democrat's name or seen it was when they were in the voting booth. And I can remember in Megaland, the last congressional district, well, I didn't even know anybody was running against Griffith. Okay. So it gets back to capacity. How do you get in front of eyeballs and stuff? And unfortunately, and I'll let Adam talk a little bit about the algorithm and stuff. You got to be on so many different platforms. And to be on so many different platforms, that means you need fundraising. And even at the local level, we're spending this upcoming year with Rural America Rising PAC about, and I've been speaking in front of some county committees about fundraising locally. There's been at least 2 different meetings I've spoken at last few months where I talk about, I ask how many people, donate to the DNC or donate to the state party, and there'll be quite a few hands raised. And then the next question I'll ask them is, how much of that money of yours do you think came back to Southwest Virginia? And most of them say, oh, well, I'm sure they support candidates. And they're amazed when I say none of it came back. Now, I'm not on here telling people to quit donating to the Democrat National Committee. I'm not on here to tell people to quit donating to the state committee. But I am on here talking about we got to let our people know that money does not come back to our candidates. At the county level, Mel up here, she can chime in on this, does not come back to our delegates. So we got to start fundraising for ourselves and talk about fundraising straight to Adam and his campaign, or straight to our PAC that goes straight into rural, or straight into a local, because Jack Kennedy this is 10-year-old number, so it's probably doubled it. I can remember him talking about to win a local race, you need at least $5,000 for a town council race, 15 to 20,000. These are rural counties now. I'm not talking about urban. You need $15 to $20,000 to win a board of supervisor race. And for a constitutional race countywide, even Wise County, you're going to need $50 to $100,000 to win that race. And unless you just want to find Democrats that have a pocket full of money, which we don't have. If I knew them, I'd probably recruit them right here in Wise County. The only people that can afford that is people that's rich. And then, or Mel, I want you to chime in here. How much was your last campaign for delegate? How much did you total funds?
managed to get up 27,000, which was a record for Democrats
Yes.
in the last 10 years, because we didn't even have anybody run, number one. And number two, I mean, I personally, I'm not going to go out and ask people who are living in a 25% poverty rate for money.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not, we're getting no support from the state, zero. There was a little bit of shenanigans going on where they claim they gave some money to a particular organization, but trickle down does not work. And the money that I got very little money from my district.
Mhm.
It came from nationwide because of the blowback with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I was getting money from all across America. And of course, the MAGA people were saying, oh, you're getting it from Soros. It's like, no, these were small, tiny donations that added up and kept me above water and got my face out there. And they knew my name. They knew my name more than they knew Spamberger's name.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. I still lost.
Well, and Mel, 27,000 was actually on the high end for our rural delegates.
Right.
In my district, I think my candidate, Democrat, was 13,000. His opponent spent 1.3 million against him. Now,
and a lot of that funding, John, came from that blue 27 pack, which I think each candidate got like 5,000 each, roughly, right? I mean, so yeah.
And our goal is to maybe double or triple that this upcoming term, and also to work with these county committees on fundraising. And fundraising, and let me tell you, I'm a firm believer in all politics is local. One reason the Democrats have lost rural America is we've lost the town councils, we've lost the board of supervisors, and I've talked to Adam this, the most important local race you can keep is the sheriff's office in rural America. When you lose the sheriff's office, and we did in Wise County, about 2 election cycles later, you'll lose the whole county. So that is one that's always going to be a top target for us, is try to fundraise and to fund sheriff's races for Democrats. And for Adam, and I brought this up at one meeting. Somebody said, well, I don't normally donate to primaries. I'm like, you're missing the point. We need to donate to primaries because it's about getting our Democratic message out there, and out there early, and out there for a long time, because to get eyeballs on it, to get people to actually start thinking about it, resonate with it and stuff, is we need that repetitive message to be in front of them. And that's what the Republicans have killed us with. The GOP has killed us with that repetitive message of theirs in front of eyeballs. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. If it's in front of people enough, that people tend to start to believe it. It's clear as law of reoccurrence. It's part of psychology and stuff. And so came on here, if anybody's got some questions on what we're doing, and Adam, chime in here on your fundraising efforts. And I told Alexa, I'm a professional salesperson by trade, is you always got to be closing. I always got to be asking, because it's the third leg. If you can have the best candidate, you can have the best message, but if you don't have capacity, it doesn't matter. And the Harris election was exactly the opposite. She had capacity. She outspent. But, she might have missed some on messaging. Maybe she wasn't the perfect candidate. But you got to have all three to win an election. So,
thank you, John. We're doing, I think, pretty good for being a grassroots campaign starting out. I think I have to have my report in, and the report will be less than what I'm talking here. But we're around like 20,000 in funds raised already. Okay. And it's really picked up since the launch, especially. That launch was really good. We got in front of... we got on TV, and a big part of our strategy has to be twofold, I think, too. We're boots on the ground doing events like this in our community with you, talking to people, letting you understand our message, giving you a chance to interact with me, and be open and public as our government should be. But we're also going a second route too. So that's like route one. Route two is that we need to hit the national game, like Mel just mentioned, where if we can get popular on this national attention, we can get Southwest Virginia to be made the focus of, get someone like Bernie Sanders or AOC or Zoran or whatever, get someone big to come here to have a talk. We can really get a lot of attention here, get our moments. And so we've been actually going through a whole bunch of different organizations trying to get Bernie Sanders endorsement, to get these things, to show people that we do mean business, that we can win this district. It's just a matter of energizing people, like John said, getting the message out there, getting it on the billboards, getting it in big yard signs, just showing people that there is an alternative and that the change can happen if we just all choose it. And actually, I think our next speaker, Jenny, is with Progressive Victory, which is a national group that has endorsed me. And this is kind of the whole strategy, is we got to keep going on both sides of this. Like, it can't stop on either. And John, I just want to say thank you for all the support that you have done. John has given me a lot of good mentorship and on how to talk with people in Southwest Virginia and actually understand people. It's not, come down to them. It's just ask them for the vote, understand them, what's the most important issues for them. John's been really instrumental, I think, in helping our campaign talk to people. So thank you.
Yeah, what did Doug Mullen say? Now, he's won 9 elections in Megaland.
Yeah.
He'll tell you, the only issue that matters is the issue of that voter right in front of you. And that is all that matters, is what matters to that voter. And that's what you do. And anybody, if you're involved in your local county committee, which I urge everybody to be, if you'd like for me to speak or to come talk to your county committee about fundraising, that's what we're kind of doing this upcoming year. And I'm talking about fundraising for the committee and for your candidates first.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not trying to tell nobody not to donate to somebody, but hey, give us 10, 15% locally what you're sending to Richmond or DC. And let's see what we can do in rural America and rural Virginia with it. So
absolutely. Thank you, John.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We have your website on the program, so I
Okay.
resubmitted the program so people can get in touch that way. So, and if you have a way to get a hold of you through email as well, you can feel free to put that in the
I'll put that in the chat. Sure will.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
yeah,
Appreciate
so
it.
much. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, John. So Adam, do you want to introduce our next guest?
Sure. So Progressive Victory, I found out because a big part of the strategy that I'm trying to do, it's not just me. I'm trying to help build a coalition, be part of a coalition of folks. So that way we can really spread our message out, get the better opportunity for Bernie Sanders to go through a tour of all of Southwest for all the progressive candidates. And so there was a House of Delegate candidate named Jonas Eppert, who I had been talking with. He was a little further out east. And he told me I should talk to Progressive Victory. I had seen Progressive Victory from some of the content I consumed online through some streamers and things. And so it seemed like a good organization to reach out to. I reached out to them. They've embraced our campaign very well. They've been very, very supportive. And they have a very active group of volunteers who help with phone banking and canvassing. And they're going to be helping our campaign out with that because they have decided to endorse us. And so Jenny here with us is their community manager, right?
Yes, that is right.
Awesome. She's amazing. She's been super helpful. She helps give all of their community a lot of energy and keeps it together. And they're a very fun little fraternity, sorority, whatever you want to call it. They're amazing, and they're going to be helping us out very much. All right. Would you like to introduce Progressive Victory and just kind of give that side of the idea?
Absolutely. So,
Hang on, Jenny. You're kind of robotic for some reason. It might be like the audio.
Is this any better at all?
Yeah, it's much better.
Yes,
It's much better.
yes. Mm-hmm.
I've been having a bunch of weird microphone issues, so we're just not that one. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Jenny Olander. I am the community manager for Progressive Victory, as Adam said. Progressive Victory is a lot of things, but what the primary thing that we do is that we mobilize and we engage online audiences. We take we get in contact with content creators who support a progressive vision online. We say, hey, your audience, they watch your live streams, but they a lot of them are disaffected. A lot of them don't actually feel like there's hope in the world and there's nothing to do. And then Progressive Victory is like, hey, what's the lowest barrier of entry so you can actually do stuff? And that is what Progressive Victory helps do. Most of our efforts are done through phone banking, and a lot of our efforts are done through in-person canvassing. We also have a community of like-minded online progressive people, largely autistic online progressive people, who we try to mobilize to get stuff done. And yeah, we've decided to endorse Adam. We think he's got the mettle. We think he's got what it takes to win. God, my camera is absolutely getting blown out by this. It's embarrassing. Anyways, we're doing a lot. Yeah, I think that's a brief overview of Progressive Victory. Any other things you want to know, or any other things you want to talk about, Adam?
Well, Progressive History is a national group.
Yeah,
So they're
that's true.
all over. They're connected with a lot of what I would call alternative media today. So major streamers, either on the left, liberal, whatever you want to call them, but there's a lot of them that have an audience. And something I think we need to keep in mind is that if we can connect with some of these audiences, and as John said, you got to keep, closing. Some of these people have 2 million people as audiences, or they have 100,000 people regularly checking in every day for their daily stream or whatever. And if you can get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10% of those people to donate just $10, you have enough funding where now you're really competing in a way that I think is different. And
Well, the thing that I actually want to bring up is that we are our big number that we tout. We don't really. I mean, funding is important, of course, but funding is not our higher priority. Our priority is the number of phone calls we make. Our priority is the number of doors we knock. I actually, one of the things that I actually disagreed with the previous guest, John Peace. Sorry to put you on blast, man. But you mentioned a moment ago about how you have to be on all these different platforms, and that's very expensive. No, it's not. It's actually dirt cheap. The thing that is expensive is the amount of time and the amount of effort you put into your messaging, the way that you actually go on these platforms and get stuff done. Because if you're going online and you buy like $20,000 worth of campaign ads, you've made a mistake. What you should be doing is going online and putting out a video of you being obviously passionate, obviously willing to make a difference, and then trying to get on presentations, on platforms, on people's streams to talk about your ideas, to engage those audiences. And that is how you make the actual change. I don't know. I have a lot of criticisms myself of the Democratic Party apparatus, the way that it's very funding focused, and how the real problem isn't that Democrats aren't getting money, it's that the Democrats by and large have weak messages, don't very incrementalism, very little small changes here and there. We'll go back to the way things were, as opposed to making things better. And one of the things that I like Adam for, one of the reasons that Progressive Victory endorsed Adam, is because he is wanting to make things better, not just kind of keep things the way that they are. We'll just go back to before Trump. No, we need to be going forward into the future, where we have better systems, better healthcare, better policy, not just kind of. It's good. And yeah, Progressive Victory's main goal is to promote candidates who support that kind of thing, and the kind of candidates who are willing to go online and on a live stream with a pretty large streamer, say the worst thing that they can think of about a right-wing politician. Who'd you make fun of again, Adam?
I said I really, really do not like Pete Keg's breath.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But Jenny's completely right. I am mentioning funding because that was what John said, so that was kind of what my brain was in. But there's two folds here. If we get on these channels with these audience and we can excite people, we can show them that the system can change, that we're not locked into this timeline that it seems like where nothing will change. People do show up, and that's as you look at our town hall that we have here right now, right? This was a spur of the moment. We all found out that we were going to get a snow day, and we just asked everybody, "Hey, would you want to come on, either sing a song, talk about your organization, etc." And we have a lot of people here who are just interested, trying to find out about us. It's steps and steps and steps, and I agree with Jenny too that one of the biggest reasons I even saw Progressive Victory outside of Jonas was the fact that one of the streamers or YouTubers that I watch was helping out Progressive Victory. It was, I think, the Seattle mayor race was Vosh was talking about.
That was so good. We went up to Seattle and we put on an event with Katie Wilson and Vosh, which Vosh is one of the biggest political streamers in the world, and it was so good. We mobilized like dozens of people to knock like 1,000 doors in just a couple hours.
Wow!
And Katie won.
It was incredible.
And Katie won.
Just like. Yeah, and Katie did win. And the margins that she won by could probably be attributed to the effort of Progressive Victory exclusively. I'm stretching a little bit, but we did make a measurable impact. the idea to like get engaged with new media, like I also take a little bit of umbrage, Adam, with your characterization of it as alternative media when it is more popular than mainstream news.
Yeah.
It is Vosh gets more views every day than CBS.
That's amazing.
This is why we got to
Like,
connect with them, right? This is exactly
it's
why we
not
need to be
alternative
connected.
media.
Yeah.
It's not alternative media, and the broad Democratic Party position of Kamala Harris doesn't need to go on Joe Rogan because it's just alternative media. No, that's where you need to be going, because that's where the young people are. That's where the energetic people are. That's where things actually get done in terms of political messaging, is in the newer media space, and it needs to be treated as such. And it's really easy to get into if you have the right kind of message. And Adam has the right kind of message.
Well, I just want to give a plug for an audience member that watched that soy pill interview.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that was incredible. And I don't know, we need to put the link in here so people can be, if you haven't seen that, you definitely, everyone here has to watch it. It was so refreshing, Jenny, to see all of those candidates talk about what they believe and how they think. I mean, you just don't hear that very often. You realize until you hear it that you just don't hear it that often. So I would highly recommend that people watch that if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the questions that the soy pill asked at the top of the thing was, who here believes that the Democratic Party is an actually effective force? And nobody said yes, because it's true. The Democratic Party on the whole is very, very, very ineffective. Weak messaging. Like, there's this corporatist bent that the entire Democratic Party has. Like, I'm seeing everybody in chat like nod, like everybody's like, yep, these corporate ghouls. Like, we're talking, like we were talking a little bit ago. One of the things I did agree with John Peace on is that the donating to the DNC, a lot of that money, or even none of it, comes back to the candidates. And that's true, because we have consultants and we have like ancient consultants who haven't won a race in like 30 years, but continue to get money because they agree with like a couple of people in the same place. Like, unbelievable. They don't understand what's going on, and they should be ignored, but the Democratic Party keeps listening to them. Do you remember after, like, I distinctly remember the Harris Walz campaign, 2024, they started late because Joe Biden. Can I swear? Can I say swears? Okay.
Sure.
Fucking Joe Biden was like, I'm gonna be a one-term president, and then right before the election is like, no, I'm gonna run again, actually, and then had to be bullied out of the position. So Kamala Harris then comes along, and her message is far more radical and far more like aggressive. Maybe not radical, but a lot more aggressive than it had been in the past. Very much getting like calling the Republican ghouls weirdos, fucking freaks. And then the DNC happens. Kamala Harris' campaign is now fully integrated with the Democratic Party. And one of the first decisions that they publicly made was to stop aggressively attacking Republicans' character. That is the Democratic Party in a nutshell. They don't actually respect anybody. They don't actually think that the world can be changed, and they want it to stay the same. They're subservient to capital, they're subservient to money, and they only do nothing all the time. And that system has to be broken. And that system can be broken by actual progressives who want the world to be a better place. And I think we got something here. And it's like, you don't just have to do it in the big cities either. Like, we all, or at least I hope we all, love Zohran Mamdani. Extremely high profile politician, but he's in New York City. New York City has a massive population, but like, there's stuff everywhere. But rural Virginia, if you can start building that kind of like progressive, more lefty kind of power in the more rural areas where you can make a measurable difference among a small amount of people that then propagate out, that is the kind of change that will make a massive difference in this world.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's happening, Jenny. I do think that's happening. And John certainly could speak to that. If Mike McGear's on here, he could speak to that. Laura can speak to that. There's a lot, and Mel can speak to that. There's a lot of that going on. So John, do you want to mention that?
Well, I was going to mention a little bit. One thing that DNC's done too much is rely on social media. We got vast areas of rural America that does not have broadband internet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And see, that's where you need funding, because let me tell you, our GOP, they still spend a lot of money on AM radio during high school football season.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that
You
one.
understand? Everybody here knows how important high school football season is in rural. If you want to get eyeballs or ears, you advertise that way. Well, the DNC would never advertise on AM radio. Okay. And it's the platforms that actually in rural America, you almost have to go back old school. Okay. Because a lot of these interviews you're talking about are not going to get in front of a lot of eyeballs in Lee County, Virginia, in Buchanan County, Virginia, Dixon County, Virginia. Because we still need broadband internet.
Yeah. Right. Thanks
That'll
for
make
that.
sense. Yeah.
And that's
And
a big part of this campaign, though, is taking this progressive energy, the fact that we can make change, having a fire in our soul with this, right? And then finding a way to connect that to every area. Because the reality is that you have to actually represent the area that you live in. And that means understanding that. And that's why our campaign is so proud to have so many people who are from Southwest Virginia to give us that nuance. That way, when we go to Bristol, Tennessee, or in Virginia, I don't take a photo on the Tennessee side of the line. I take a photo on the Virginia side of the line, right? Like it's little things, but these little things, they matter. They matter.
Yeah, and I see Mike. So Mike, do you want to speak to the rural progressive side a bit?
Yeah. I'm curious to hear about this.
Oh, sure. I think, one of the nice things is that, Adam is going to have an opportunity with, the Bristol Dems. We're hosting the Russell and the Washington County Dems together on the 17th of February here in Bristol. So it'll be a candidate forum, brief, but impactful. So, we've increased the ranks of the Democratic Committee from 8 to 42 in Bristol alone, which is marvelous. And then Russell County has, elected Alice Schlickling, who is phenomenal young woman who is now the new chair there. And we're going to invite the Washington County Dems, obviously, to come as well. And so at that, Adam will have the opportunity, Joy will have the opportunity, and they'll be sharing the stage with Repro Rising, who's going to be coming here to talk about reproductive rights in Southwest. We happen to be, Bristol is the only location for abortion and for reproductive freedom rights care in the region. So people come here from all the surrounding states. People come from Georgia, right? In order to get their care, and that clinic is being pressured out of their current home, and they're going to be moving into a new location, which is not going to be as private as it has been. It's going to be much more visible. It's more vulnerable. Right. So, okay. So so there's a big event. So that's at 6:30 in Bristol at the library in Bristol, Virginia. Everybody is welcome. And it will be recorded. It will be on camera. And so we'll be very happy to host that. Maybe do you want to ask me a couple of specific questions and I can address them?
Well, actually, you know what I'm going to just share is that Mike, just getting together with Jenny and with John and really talking about kind of how the rural impacts and how that basically combines, Jenny, with what you're doing with progressive victory really makes a lot of sense. So I think that's a much longer conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And we are definitely getting ready for the next act.
We'll
but
plan
maybe
a strategy meeting down the line with everybody. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I do want to say though, and Mike, you could help me out. I do want to say though that this our district though is the only district that put forward the right to work, repealing the right to work, and also the rank voiding. That's the only district in the state, right? So there's no other, supposedly more liberal areas promoted that. It was just our district. So we definitely.
I'll just give a little. Let me ride on that for a minute. And so, full disclosure, I'm the secretary of Congressional District 9 Committee. So we are impartial to our candidates until the primary is concluded. So they all have the same opportunity to ask for assistance. Adam has been very proactive and has asked for assistance and guidance, and we're providing that. So it's really important for everybody to understand that they need to access their local committees, that this is the structure. If you want to meet with people in the region and you want to have appropriate representation for the Democratic Party in Virginia, you need to coordinate with the chairs. So I'd actually just got off the phone with our chair, Jessica Watts. And so she now knows, what we're organizing in terms of a tour. And, it's going to be very important that we make sure that people understand from everywhere from 77 down, right? Where this is going to be it is the largest district, and it's going to become larger, but with fewer representatives, because we're going to lose Roanoke, we're going to lose Radford, we're going to lose our population centers, which is where the majority of our numbers are during the redistricting. So it's very important that people understand that the resources are actually going to become more challenging for Southwest and for rural as we go through the redistricting, that we have to do, because we have to defend, our congressional access nationally, but it's going to radically impact what happens in our representative bodies in rural places in Virginia.
Right. So I'm going to come out and see
Thank
you
you,
when
Mike.
Adam's there. I'm going to come out and see you, Mike, so we can kind of see each other in person.
And thank you too, Jenny.
So yeah. Thank you, Jenny, so much. I'm excited to kind of get all of you guys together.
Daniel Moore, send me an email at jenny@progress.win. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So,
And if you need to get in contact,
energy?
I can help facilitate that
Yeah.
too. For any reason as well.
You can also get through Adam.
So are you guys feeling the energy of all this? Do you see why this is so important and all this
Right.
connection and what, right, so it really matters. You're not just dealing with your area, you're dealing with, all of these areas, and, we're as big as New Jersey. So this is really, really important that you're not alone, that we are all in this together. So anyway, thank you so much.
The last thing that I'll plug before I shut my mouth is in response to Mel and her question about the rural caucus. Yeah, about 50% of the rural caucus's recruitment efforts during the reorganization were at Nova. And so they brought, instead of focusing on rural, they focused on impact areas in Nova. And so they are diluting the rural voices that are representative in the caucus. So we need to get to work on that as well.
Right. Just FYI, that's Northern Virginia. Just for anyone that wasn't sure what Nova was. But anyway, so we have our next musical act, and we'll give you some extra time, Leslie, since we went over on your time a little bit. So if you want those extra 5 minutes, we'll put it towards the end. So I'll leave it up to you. So we have Leslie Brooks. You want to share anything before you get started, Leslie? Oh, you're on mute, Leslie. Let's see. I can't unmute you. Did we lose her? She looks frozen.
I saw her just a second ago.
Yeah, I see her picture, but it looks like she might have frozen. So she might have to come back. So.
Yeah, my internet's been going in and out, so maybe
Hers is too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I've heard of a few people's as well. Yeah.
I think we agreed that you were going to sing in between, Adam. If that happened, you were going to sing a little song.
Do a little jig.
So no, we'll give her a minute to come back. So, while we're waiting for her to come back, anything else you want to share, Mike?
Or if anybody has any questions, maybe too. Yeah.
Well, I will say that we need to be paying close attention to what is going to be the tour that's going to come through. Adam, do you want to give your dates?
Yes. Okay, so we're planning on being in Bristol for about as long as we can, for about a whole week, and so the dates that we have set up for that is February 15th to February 21st. And I'm thinking, since some of the stuff you told me earlier, Mike, that maybe we would do the Shanghai on the 16th, because that's a Monday, right? Help them out with their business. We have, obviously, on the 17th, we'll do something with the Bristol Dems. And it's awesome that it's hearing that it's more than just Bristol. We'll have Washington and Russell. That'll be wonderful. Then we're going to have, on some of these other meetings, I'll have to go back on the 18th to the Smith, but we'll do other stuff that other day. We're going to try to meet with United Mine Workers of America while we're out there. We're going to probably try to meet with the Planned Parenthood. We'll meet with these facilities. We want to meet with everybody. We have an event probably at the end of the week with Dragonfly, which will be another nice local business. And all these businesses are on the Virginia side of the border, which, there's like a cannabis shop there. And if you literally cross the street, it's now a felony. It's kind of wild, honestly, to be in Bristol and really experience that.
Yeah. So we have
there
Leslie
is a
back
key
too.
distinction I'd like to make, and so we support all local businesses, But what we're trying to focus on is if we're making any spends or we're taking anybody's time, that we're working with naturalized citizens who own the small businesses in our area to help support those businesses and to promote them. And we're trying to avoid those businesses that will censor the communication, such as Squabble State, which actually sent all of that cider to the inauguration. Those persons censored Cindy. They made Cindy and I pull every one of our signs off of their driveway and out of their building when we were greeting Abigail Spanberger.
Wow.
And Abigail and her team listened to some weak advice as to where they should cite this. It was the most inaccessible place, and this guy wouldn't even allow us to put our signs up next to Abigail's signs that was paying for the event.
Right. That information matters, and that's why going locally is a big difference. So we have Leslie back. So Leslie, we'll give you back your time. Good to have you. So,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Just everything Zoom ended right when I don't know what happened, but here I am. Hi, everybody. It's just, this has been so enlightening and a great way to spend a snow day. So, John, I noticed that you said you were located right there on the border of Kentucky. And this song that I want to share with you guys, Alexa has heard this. You can still hear me okay, Alexa, everybody? I hope. I hope you can still.
I can hear you.
Oh,
You're good.
I used to attending Zoom meetings, but I'm not used to performing at them. So anyway, this song was inspired by a painting in Louisville, Kentucky, which is my hometown and birthplace. I've been in Virginia for about 20 years now, but and this was called Bluegrass Breakdown, the painting. And I just thought about that name, Breakdown, and the song just came to me, and then I recorded it and have added verses. But here we go. Here we go. Pull over to the side of the road. Put on the emergency brake. We got a blowout to break down. Gonna have to slap ourselves awake. It's a breakdown here, a breakdown there, a breakdown every corner, everywhere. A breakdown of the air we breathe. A breakdown of our sacred trees. The breakdown of our native tribes. The uprise of the race rise. A breakdown of the football field. A breakdown if we choose to kneel. A breakdown of our human rights. And trafficking and genocide. It's a breakdown here, a breakdown there, a breakdown on every corner, everywhere. A breakdown of the government, a breakdown of the money spent, the breakdown of our family farms, the roundup and the earth at harms. A breakdown at the voting polls, a breakdown of those cheated souls, a breakdown when that virus hit, a rise up of the deficit, a breakdown of the FAA, the breakdown of Medicaid, the rise of the grand old party's greed, the breakdown is the American dream, the breakdown of democracy, the breakdown of diversity, the flop of supremacy. We the people have been shunned. This oligarch agenda is hell bent to defeat. Now I wanna be dictator, a bigot and buffoon. Feeds black rockets, black billionaires, and the jar of silver spoon. I remember watching fireflies sparkling across the field, and my granddad cleaning lots of bugs off his old windshield. It's a dark road up ahead, no turning back. We've been sleeping at the wheel. We better get out the tire jack. It's time.
Yay.
Not sure if that came through. That came through okay, you guys?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
did.
did. Yeah, it
Oh,
did.
good.
Definitely.
Oh, good.
Definitely.
This next tune, just decided to do today when I got up about 11. Slept a little later than usual. I was up along with everybody else trying to think of, hacks to stay warm in case the power went out. I remember one year it did for 9 days. But anyway, this song, you guys, I doubt if anyone's heard. Interesting enough, this is one recorded by a vocalist I'm in a new band now called the Spinouts. We've been involved in rehearsals. We're having a blast. I'm actually playing electric bass and keyboards in the band, and as well as electric guitar and a little acoustic. But anyway, one of the guys in the band, John LaRocco, used to tour as Jon Stewart's road manager. And he decided to record this song that Jon Stewart, the late Jon Stewart, wrote. And this is the interesting thing, I think. John LaRocco is from Salem, and he went to school with Morgan Griffith. And they were good friends. Until, Jan finally had to just tell him off many years ago. So it's interesting. You can find this song on YouTube with John singing it. He does a great job. He sings it in the band. Now, yeah, it's under Amber Trust Wave, one of his bands he used to be in. So I'm gonna put the capo way up to get it in my key here. And I just think it's I wanted to sing this at the No Kings rally, but I was all set up in front of the library there, Alexa, and it rained, and we had to break everything. But John was with me, and he was going to sing this song there along with others. But anyway, here we go. Oh, it's time to tell the children that it's not about the war, that it's not about the winning, that it's not about the score. Oh, it's time to tell the children that it's not about the rings we put upon the fingers of the man who would be king. Oh, it's time to tell the children that it's not about the gold. No, it's not about the money or all the things that are bought and sold. Oh, it's time to tell the children how these don't mean a thing, like the rings upon the fingers of the man who would be king. Yeah, don't you realize when you see the truth, all the lies on the evening news, don't you realize that the children know what the children see is where the children go? Oh, it's time to tell the children that it's not about the plan to see who is the richest or the baddest in the land. Oh, it's time to tell the children of the birds upon the wing who would never give their power to the man who would be king. Never give the power to the man who would be king. Look at here, and I didn't write this. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, it's time to tell the children that it is about the heart, and that it is about the people of this world that are all apart. Oh, it's time
for forgiving the ones who stole the rings. Put upon the fingers the man who would be king. That we put upon the fingers the man who would be king. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can, Leslie.
you
We have
can.
to, yeah, thank you so much. Everybody give a big round of applause for Leslie.
Could
Yeah,
y'all hear that?
thank
Did
you.
it come through? It was
Yes, it did.
okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
did.
did.
Yes,
It
it did.
did. Yeah, it did.
All right.
We have to keep moving on, Leslie. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you for
everything.
being here. Thank you for playing.
Yeah.
All right, and I would
Thanks for
like to
coming.
say that my website, lesliebrooksmusic.com.
Yeah,
And
put
I'll
that
be
in the,
posting-
could you put that in the chat, Leslie? That
Okay.
would be great. Yeah,
All
thank you so
right.
much.
Thanks
Yeah.
for asking me. Bye.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having. So Adam, what did you think about today? Aren't you?
This
aren't
went
you
really well.
This is thrilled.
Yeah,
I think
this went really well.
How do you guys feel? Are you glad you spent the time with us, the Snowden tour with us? So I just, anyway, I thought it might be nice, Adam. We have about 10 minutes and I think it's good if we kind of end on time, but I just want to say it's super working with you. I'm excited meeting all these amazing, wonderful people. All of you have different ideas or things that we can kind of expand. So we really love your energy and want that feeding into kind of the things that we will be doing. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work ahead of us. But I know, and I'm sure you feel the same way, Adam, that doing it together makes a difference. So
Yes, this is why when we say we're building a community, like we're actually building a community here. This is not, meant to be for just a campaign run. This is meant to unite people together to understand the common ground and the common goals we all want to share and the better future we want to build towards. And it's, I'm incredibly blessed, truly, by all the people who have been here today, who have been here in the past, Alexa, Helena, Ashley. There's honestly so many names to name of people who've been supporting and pushing us forward. It makes me incredibly proud to be able to do this with all of you. This whole campaign has very much been Field of Dreams. I have not historically been a part of any political process or anything. I'm just a 30-year-old guy, but if you build it, they will come, and everybody has been amazing here. They have been joining us in this fight, and it's showing us that we can actually make change because we are being reminded constantly that the system is supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people, and that we are the ones who have the power in here. And all these abuses and crap that we deal with now, it's all been because we have given that power up, but we can take it back. And when we do take it back, we will change the system for the better. So I'm just very happy that everybody decided to join us here today, and you got to see us in our campaign, and that we heard from so many wonderful musicians and had so many good conversations. Hopefully we helped you out with some of the understandings around data centers. And we'll always talk more about this stuff. You can always reach out to us. We are a very open campaign. We try to be hyper transparent, hyper available. If you need us, we'll be there for you. But thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah. So Adam, I did ask folks to kind of open it up. So
Okay.
people who are willing to, some people who are willing to share have shared on the chat, but if you're willing to kind of unmute your mic, share just what it was like being here today. I thought it went by pretty fast.
I agree.
It wasn't until the very end that I had to use the restroom, but it was at the very end, and I thought it went by fast. So we could have even made it 4 hours. What do you think? But I'm glad it's just 3, but it's been wonderful. So anyone open your mic and share just what it's been like for you.
I think you could have made it another hour if we went to the cocktail hour.
Probably so. Probably so.
When you're snowed in, it's fine to drink it today. Drink.
That's right.
Exactly.
No driving.
There's football games right after this, right, everybody? I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'd like to suggest that we do this more often.
It's been fun, hasn't it? It's been fun, Helena.
I think, maybe even like once a month or something, we can plan something like this on a Sunday.
I think that would be a good goal, and then just highlight different groups. So maybe next time we talk about specifically healthcare, because we had graphics and stuff for talking about Medicare for all and other things if we got into it. And we just didn't happen to get into it today because there was just so many other wonderful people here to talk about other things. And I think it was important that everybody who did speak. So yeah, I think it would make sense that we could highlight tons of other concerns or issues that we have in our district. And we'll try to make it maybe a monthly thing. I think that's a good goal.
And Adam, we did live stream it on YouTube and Facebook, and I don't know, can you tell how that's looking, or But that's another way. It hasn't just been the people on Zoom. We do have the recording, so I don't see why we can't send it out to all of you, and you guys could share it with your connections as well.
Well,
So we
I
will.
know, Alexa, we had probably like 20 to 40 people in here at our most. I know for a fact that were people who were texting during this saying like, hey, I was watching this on Facebook, or I was watching it on YouTube. So I think we were reaching more people than just the folks here, but I'm so happy that everybody did decide to join here and speak with us.
Okay. All right. So any other kind of final thoughts?
I saw Whitney and Joy both raise their hands.
Okay. Go ahead, Whitney, and then Joy. Did you want?
Well,
There you are.
I certainly enjoy being here today and helping out with this, and I find it inspiring because it does seem pretty dismal and hopeless in this political climate that we have. To have somebody so young, 30, that's young, man. I love it. The phrase you use is some maybe way older than that. But yeah, we got to work for this, and I'm glad to help anytime. And once a month is great for me because I love just doing what I do and trying to put it in the right place by like helping you guys out.
What area are you in, Whitney, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Christiansburg.
You're close. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's awesome. So when you perform, you have to let us know when you're performing too.
He said February 8th at the Radford Coffee Company, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to write that
Yeah,
down.
I think we'll try to attend, and if we don't sync up before then, I'll definitely sync up with you there in person.
Awesome. That's Joy. That's your area.
Where are you guys at?
Well, I'm in Blacksburg. So I'm in Blacksburg.
And I live in Roanoke County, Cave Springs specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And Joy is in Radford, so she can maybe pop in on the 7th. So Joy, you had your hand up. Did you want to share some?
Oh, well, I just put it in the chat. I was just gonna say, on another note, you were just talking about why this is different. I said I like things like this because sometimes, we always complain when you've worked in Invisible, you've worked on campaigns, like nobody shows up. People volunteer, they're not there. It's hard to get people to come out. But we always think people should meet us where we want them, and these type things are more accessible for certain groups of people. So I think it's wonderful as like to do something like this. I hope that makes sense, but not we always want people to come out, and do all these things that we want them to do, but this is a really nice opportunity to make things easily accessible for others.
So be honest, you guys. Is it because you guys were snowed in today that you showed up? Did the snow day help everyone come? What do you think?
I think it being on a weekend also helped too, right? If we had done this in the middle of the week, I think it would have been harder for folks.
Right. And I see Suzanne has her hand up. Go ahead, Suzanne.
I was just going to say thank you. I learned a lot, and it was fabulous having the artist interspersed through the whole conversation. And I would definitely be interested. I'm a nurse practitioner, so I would definitely be interested in a forum about healthcare.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And you were here at the very beginning and you stayed the whole time. So I think a lot of you did. Most of you stayed here, came in the beginning and stayed the whole time.
I did.
It's pretty amazing. That's awesome. So any other final thoughts before we've got a few more minutes, Adam, if you want to share anything before we leave.
Well, I'm going to be doing this probably indefinitely for Renee Good and Alex Pretty. You might have seen the thing yesterday. I took a photo with my candle then too, but if you get the opportunity, put it up in your windowsill every night, maybe for just a little bit of time, light a candle, just to let people know that there's, this is very similar to the paperclip idea, but this is maybe a little more visible, and it could be, burn a candle for an hour or two every night. And Keith Porter, yes, to highlight the kind of the government tyranny that we're existing under, and these people who are, doing nothing more than just watching and getting killed to represent and to stand up for constitutional rights in our country. I think it's important that, more and more people you'll see, I think, start lighting these candles, and maybe we can make something of this. We're going to do more than this, obviously, too, but this is just a good way to show solidarity. So this is something, that's why I have a candle. I have it lit right now, and I'll be lighting it every night. So
if the power goes out, you're going to see a lot of candles.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just thank you all for being here.
We don't want to say goodbye. We're having, don't want to say goodbye. So long, farewell. But you've been wonderful, and thank you for spending the time with us.
And hopefully your preferred sports team wins here in the next 3 to 6 hours.
One last word. One last word, please.
Sure.
Yes, Helena. She's keeping us on track.
Go on to the website. Sign up for. Sorry about the dogs. Sign up for a dispatch.
Perfect way to end it.
Right. I know. But I have something to say now. Sign up for our dispatch newsletter. Follow our events. While we were sitting here, I started scratching out some ideas what we're going to do at Five Points Music Sanctuary with some music. I think we'll have some local artist exhibits. We'll hook up with Lauren on that. Tyler Godsey, the owner of Five Points, has a foundation for hearing impaired and the power of music. So I think we're going to put something together and do a nice big fundraiser and have mutual aid do a food drive along with it.
Yep.
Tyler Godsey is awesome.
That's what I'm working on right now. So we're going to pull that together.
And we're going to make it happen, and we're going to make it happen because all of you are going to do it with us. So that's important. So
thank you for spending your Sunday with us. Yes, thank you.
Keep your spirits up.
Yep.
Yes.
We're all in this together, and we can change this. Don't give up. We got to continue to try. We got to continue to push the needle forward. And together we will make a difference. So thank you all for being here.
So a bunch of hearts for everyone that's here. A bunch of hearts. Let's end with a bunch of hearts.
Bunch of hearts.
Let's fill the screen with a bunch of hearts, everybody. You can do it. Come on, fill that screen up. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you all. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Talk to you later. Bye.